Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Welcome everyone to the Truth Table. This is Raising Frequency series, and at any point in time, a previous guest from this series could join us. It's open for all the guests because it's really the same mission. My guest today, Rick Hewers, is an ascended master and overseer of the current planetary Ascension. And in his words, consents for the replacement system is coming in from all over the world and apparently increasing. Freedom, harmony, abundance, peace, and love worldwide soon. Love, light, and gratitude to all for standing with Prime Creator and all things good, just, and right. You know, in the Sumerian tablets, the Anunnaki, the sons of God, depending which book you're reading, they call themselves gods, but refer to the Prime Creator. And when I pray, I say the Creator because it just doesn't get lost in translation, because what we speak really affects what happens, what we project. That's why words are so important, because when we say a word, we may mean one thing, but the sound and the frequency that goes along with that word has the initial effect of what the word actually means. And, this has been used as a weapon. I proved that in my first and second season of the Truth Table. I went over all of it. And I would like to share this graph here just to talk about the journey from 1D to 12D. 1D is the beginning, consciousness and matter. 2D is energy, polarities, and vibration. 3D is physical, matter, space, and survival. 4D, duality, time, ego, emotions. 5D, awakened, unity, love, freedom. So it all sounds good as long as you're going upwards. And that's what the whole purpose of this series for the next few months is all about: raising frequencies. How to do it? We're all in this together, so we have to work together and help each other where we can, in whatever way we can. I look forward to my conversation with Rick today, and thank you all at home for coming.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
When two or more are gathered in my name, I am in the midst of them. Thank you, Creator, for this day. Thank you for yesterday and tomorrow. And thank you for my guest for coming on. May our tongue and our words be righteous today and helpful to those who need to hear the words that we have to say. Miigwech. Oh, thank you, Rick, for joining me for the second time on the Truth Table. It's a pleasure to have you, brother.
Thank you for having me, brother, and it's good to be here.
Your site is really a real vehicle for people to raise their frequencies and to participate, which is what I love about it. I believe I have it in the description if anybody would like to check out the site. We're all experiencing a slow grind to dystopia, and raising our frequencies is one way to empower each other. And that's what this series is all about. That's what you're all about. And can you tell people about the site? And I'll try to bring it up here so people can see it. But they just have to sign up.
Mhm.
Let's see here.
Well, let's say there's a little more to just consenting to ratify this worldwide referendum. For sure, everyone wishes to know what are you ratifying, what are you agreeing to. So it is important for ones to at least know this. We keep it as simple as do you want the heaven on earth or do you want this existing system that you have now? So it could be that simple. If they say you want the heaven on earth, well, add your agreement, your consent to the website. Because simply, once we have the worldwide majority agreeing with this, then it occurs. The people are the power, the majority of the people. And this is a worldwide cumulative vote, which means it continues until we get the majority. So this is inevitable. This new replacement system for humanity that places all equal in full abundance and all true sovereign rights and freedoms. So here it is. And the people are the power. Your current system would not exist if the people did not support it and be a part of it. However, now you have the option and the choice to choose the system for the people. End all of this this wealth disparity, all suffering, and so this is the time to wipe out poverty, and the people have the full plan and the power in their hands to do so. The only thing that's holding this plan back, that it's not the replacement system now, is the people themselves by not wanting it, not agreeing to it, which again, if you stop for a moment to know what it is, it defies common sense and human logic that everyone, they will want it. So this is the thing. Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yep. You're
All right,
perfect on
great.
my end. But I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
what they can hear. Like I really don't know.
All right.
I hear perfectly. I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, this is why it's so important, because this is a vehicle. You can spread it with other people. You can participate and just grow the numbers, and be a part of it. Because I really think that in a process right now where we will have to take the what do you call it with the horses, the reins. And so
Yes.
we need our teachers, and we need our doctors, and we need ethical doctors, and allowing medicines to come out of the darkness that can heal people and just put an end to this sickness profit that has been burdening us. And the attack is on different levels, even our clothing, all things, just by mixing fabrics, and alter our body's capacity to function at its maximum potential. And they did it with music. They did it with the
Yes, indeed.
bells. The whole structures.
Yeah, we have I believe, a little delay here, a little interruption
Oh, really?
in our internet. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we
sounds good now.
okay. So we must choose love over fear, sovereignty from submission, liberation through cooperation, reclaiming divine authority. And you're a part of that. Which is why you're here, of course. And
Absolutely.
I don't want to do all the talking. I didn't really come up with questions. I just I knew that it was important that we had a conversation that can help others. So I'm here.
Indeed.
I'm open to all the wisdom that you have to share, and I do want to reclaiming my time, reclaiming divine authority.
Yeah, excellent. You know, we are in reality, we're in the most unprecedented time. Um, this has been all preordained, if you will. So, what we're speaking about with divine GPMS, this has been prophesized and written through scripture and beliefs through antiquity. So, simply saying that the time has come, it's upon everyone. The golden age, the heaven on earth, the new beginning, however you wish to label or identify with it, this is it. Divine GPMS. This is how it's done. So the complete transitional system is here, but it's a very rapid transitioning, meaning that it's already in transition now at gathering the worldwide consents to make this the reality. But here's the thing with this is not just some utopia or a fantasy. It's very real. It's being done lawfully, it's being done tangibly and physically. With every consent that is added to the whole, we are ratifying the most solid, unprecedented agreement, treaty even, ever known to humankind. And this is so important. So in the past, typically, you had governments and you only could choose parties within those governments. But now what you have is an entire new system. You no longer need to vote for parties within a government of this current beast system. You can now vote for the entire new system. So it's kept easy. And, with this, one doesn't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. And we get many questions on this, but Paul, one of the things is that most people don't even know how the current beast system works. So a lot of times they'll ask questions, how does this system work? And well, if they don't even know how the current system works, that has taken all of their rights, turned them into permissions that someone else has authority over them, if they don't even know that, then it's why do they want to know all of the integral details of the new
Right.
system? So it's kept easy for them. Do you want the heaven on earth? And if so, to make it easy for you, just consent, add your agreement. And if you wish to go deeper, it's all outlined on the website, even the mechanics of it. We don't need to get right into the details of it on the website because a lot of this just happens organically as people come together to do the right thing
Yeah.
and to create this world that does no harm. And this is the foundation of GPMS. Its law: do no harm. The current existing system is harming people. It
It is.
creates poverty, extreme poverty, inequality, all of these things. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's primitive. It's savage and it's outdated. It's
Mhm.
time for humanity to advance into a civilization, into civility,
Yeah.
rather than this savage world.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. I see mankind is moving into two timelines. People are being divided into two. They either stick with low frequencies and lock us into separation timeline, or the other timeline is in love and gratitude, courage, responsibility, aligned unity, timeline. And that's my preference. And I certainly want to bring as many people on board to that side, um, because I certainly don't want to stay in low frequency. I know for a fact that we can do so much better at almost everything, even roads, like even small things. Um, Barrett has a question, but what we're experiencing is that the old structures are going to lose their authority. They're losing their credibility. Fake news, for example, mainstream, they're all losing their authority and consent, basically, one by one. Barrett has a question. Barrett is also a friend of ours, and a guest that can join time. If removing economic vulnerability alone ends trafficking, how do we address the persistent role of demand, organized crime networks, and cultural factors that operate beyond poverty? So I'll give that to you, Rick.
Well, I believe what he is relating to is what divine GPMS does. It eradicates organized crime. The main thing with crime, if you will, on Earth is the monetary incentive.
Yeah.
So what GPMS does, everyone has their own money, and no one can be bought, to just keep it simple. And what this does, it limits crime when everyone is in equal value and
Mhm.
abundance. There becomes no reason for one to get into gangs or what have you. And also, let's say there is no reason for anyone to steal any longer, to fight to survive by stealing, because they have everything. So, just to keep it simple, if you will, to answer that, it
Mhm.
eradicates it, and it also eradicates the child trafficking and sexual abuse. When you get to the core of these things, what causes it? It's the system itself that causes it. So, by changing the system and the way value is and putting everyone into joy, all stress is eliminated. Then ones don't need to do these insidious things. But also, importantly, everything is energetic. So, in a stress free, joyful, energetic environment, these things that you have here with child trafficking, sexual abuse, this cannot exist in a joyous environment that is peace, harmony, and all of this. And this is what's occurring. And everything is energetic. And if you look at physics, you can see this very clearly, or metaphysics. And when you look at all sickness and disease, the number one cause of it, which is about 99.9%, is stress.
Well, I think you answered Barrett's second question. What
Oh, was
specific,
it?
yeah, what specific verifiable mechanisms ensure that direct access to value cannot itself be captured, manipulated, or corrupted by the same systems it aims to replace? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think it's because everyone's will be participating in it. Um,
I
everyone will
couldn't.
see a direct value in it. Yeah, let me just put that question back up here. What specific verifiable mechanisms ensure that direct access to value cannot itself be captured, manipulated, or corrupted by the same systems it aims to replace? So, checks and balances in the system. Are there mechanisms to ensure that?
Really, what I wish to say, checks and balances are in a disharmonic system. They were needed there. In a harmonious system, you do not need such things as that.
Mhm.
See, also, you don't. What GPMS, to simply explain this, GPMS is a full flow credit system.
Mhm.
You don't have any accounting, you don't have any ledgers, which comes from the old system of what Brother Barrett was asking. This is a new system. These things they don't exist up here, so they become, if you will, moot. Uh, they become moot. Yeah,
So you wouldn't need
yeah.
checks and
Keep that
balances
simple.
because everyone would see it in real time, kind of thing. No,
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah. What you're checking and balancing, everyone has more than enough, and you don't need to balance and check anything. So it doesn't exist up here.
But
Thank you.
Gene Dixon did mention that the old powers are going to try to reinstall themselves after they've lost credibility. So there's that danger. There's going to be a couple of months after November where they're going to try to, because we're going to have a rudderless a boat, with no captain of the ship. So it's going to seem it's going to be easy for them to try to reinstall themselves as authority. So we have to be prepared for that outcome, because certainly they love their power and will try to uh, derail any potential sovereign movement to protect our fellow
Well,
man. So I would
if
expect
I
them.
may,
Yep.
I don't see that at all. And uh, the one you were mentioning, I forget his name. What was his name?
Gene Dixon.
Oh, Gene Dixon.
Yeah.
I asked this question: what if Gene Dixon is wrong?
Yeah.
See, here is the thing: many comes from a place of fear, always empowering the darkness, and because of that, they keep the darkness in that place of power and their ability to control humanity. So what I say, no.
Yep.
We're eradicating the darkness forever, and GPMS is what does it. Why enter something into the future that doesn't exist or that could disempower you? That becomes nonsensical. Keep yourself empowered and know that the people are the majority. And where the people are the majority, how can one or two bad apples control the majority when they're all together as one?
Mhm.
No, it doesn't occur. So, what I say for once, be very meticulous what you may be projecting into the future that prolongs your ascension and your freedom. It
Mm.
becomes ridiculous to empower the darkness. You need to focus on empowering yourself and knowing your true sovereignty and what it is. And don't be tricked out of your value and your core values and your sovereignty. Stand firm with God and yourself and all of your brothers and sisters that are doing likewise. Don't give your power to the darkness. The darkness would not exist if you didn't exist first.
I'm going to make you come on the show, Barrett. He's got all these questions. What real pilots data or case studies demonstrate that eliminating financial scarcity alone has successfully eradicated exploitation at scale? He's got the link too, so he can
Well,
join us.
well, what I would say, this is unprecedented what we are doing. So it's never been done before. So you're not going to have any documentation of it.
Yeah. And like I said, the link is in the
Does that
description.
make sense?
Yep. And the link's in the description.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to go to the website, and it's all there, all spelled out for you, in plain English, easy to understand. It's free to go there and to look. And, I would recommend that you do that, be empowered, raise your frequencies. All right, Barrett has another question. How would this system be adopted across sovereign nations with competing political interests, currencies, and legal frameworks?
Political interests will no longer exist with this system. Their currencies no longer exist, nor their legal frameworks. This is a complete lawful system with its own unlimited currency backed by intrinsic value. So, having said this, what's he asking? How would this system be adopted? Again, it's the people. They can adopt it, all sovereign nations. It's what frees them. And the value of this currency can never be competed with. It is the ultimate form of any currency just before the transitioning of humanity into the world where you don't use money at all, where their full self-worth is restored and they are working in a harmonious worldwide community and thriving and advancing humanity forward. So this was all fictitious to ones before, but now it's very real. As I said, you can watch it occurring with all of the people that are coming in alignment with it, with divine GPMS, and are ratifying it. And very importantly, every child's vote of consent counts as one, the same as an adult. A 1 minute old child consent is the same as one 107-year-old adult. They're all counted equally. And this is the first time ever in human history that children actually had a voice and a say in their future. And they're choosing the heaven on earth, not this present system of going to school, being programmed for 15 years or what have you, then coming out and being a monotonous robot to a society that just keeps taking from them and keeps them enslaved and working. The children now have the full free world to choose, and rightfully so. Every child vote of consent counts, and it's very important that they do. And having said that, currently we have around 402 402,000 plus consents gathered worldwide, and out of those, approximately 57,000 are children under the age of 18.
Well, the most important thing is the numbers. The more people, the more empowered it becomes.
Exactly.
It strengthens and this is what we need. Whenever there's an opportunity to link in with the community locally, on a local level, provincial level, country level, worldwide level, we have to jump at these opportunities and spread it, because if you have an opportunity to have a vote and a voice, because we don't in Canada, we're looking at dystopia with a banker, a WEF guy who just bought his power, a majority, to do whatever he wants. And I kind of already know what he wants. So I do believe we're at a fulcrum point in socially, mankind.
But if I may, Paul,
Sure.
if we look at any of these, and I love using Trump as an example, When you look at the U.S. population, of how Trump actually got in power, when you look at some of the real numbers, Trump got in power, if you will, by 33% of the eligible votes. Yeah. Are we still here on air? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
But if you,
I was just making
what
myself.
happened?
I was just getting myself out of the way to make a bigger picture of
Oh,
you.
right, good.
Just for the
But
people with
getting
little
back,
phones. Yeah, the little phone people.
yeah. Oh, thank you. But getting back to this, when you look at it per capita in the US, Trump actually got into power with only 17% of the votes or of the people on a per capita basis. And this is very important to look at it because you're not getting the proper representation. So if you go back to Trump getting in with 33%, that's not a majority at all. But this is happening in Canada as well. Sure, they inflate the numbers as we've seen in Canada with several of the last elections as well through the last decade or more. It's obvious that the numbers are not the correct numbers. But none of this matters anymore because the people just vote that political system that is actually it doesn't serve humanity anymore. It's not in the public's best interest. Just choose the system that is. And the people are the majority. Then you have the ratified, bona fide majority. So currently, what you have worldwide is like 200 individuals telling the world you must suffer at the mercy of a capitalistic system.
Yeah, we're
Just
building
over 200.
we're building
Go
our
ahead,
new,
brother.
we're building our new world together. Restoring food,
Yeah,
air, water, education through consensus and collaboration rather than hierarchy.
exactly. Everyone working together the way it should be, sharing and doing the right things, and this is one of the things of GPMS. What it does instantly upon getting the majority ratification, it unlocks unlimited resources and access to money, meaning where this goes to, hi brother Jesse, where it goes to, it goes to fully supporting humanity with everything they need in the now. Where there is money, then it's no longer a factor. Very quickly, everyone is growing their own food in greenhouses or what have you, because everything is given freely. And manufacturing, because money is no longer a factor in that, is ramped up to proportions beyond anything yet that it needs to be to supply the instant comfort for everyone. For example, air conditioning that they may need in India. So, what occurs with GPMS, the current inventory is quickly given to the people, bought out, but it's given to the people because the people actually own these manufacturing. These manufacturers and companies, they wouldn't exist if not for the people investment into it, without me going into the lawful and technical details at what I'm saying. So it is the bona fide ownership of the people, even of these manufacturers. And because of that, the manufacturer is given instant, unlimited money and also access to all of the resources that it needs to turn out as soon as possible as many of these air conditionings for Indian families to keep them in a place of comfort. This is
Yeah.
just an example.
Technology will be reclaimed from corporations' control and put into our hands and used for human flourishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'd like to happen.
It's
I
what's
see.
going to happen.
I've
And it's going
seen
to
how it's
happen very
supposed to be
soon.
here. Can you hear me okay?
Welcome, Jesse, my brother.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Paul. Hi, Rick. Good to see you guys both. You're
Right.
two beautiful souls. With what Rick was just talking about here is like I've seen it, how it's supposed to be here. I've seen how things are supposed to be abundant. I've seen how people are supposed to be sharing and working together, not against each other. And so, you know, Rick has, got this system instilled into him that can help, attain that. And, because when people are working together and providing for each other and helping each other, there's no need for flying in bananas from Ecuador and here because you're actually producing what you need for your communities to help flourish. And then any excess, you're helping other communities or, moving them otherwhere, trading or whatever it is, that you do. But the answers to the Earth's problems isn't complicated.
No.
It's just people want to complicate them by creating all these barriers and scarcities and logistics and everything, the excuse that humanity comes up with that this stuff isn't attainable, where it truly is, because we're communal beings. We're meant to work together. We're meant to help each other. We're meant to be in this journey together, because what is consciousness? We're all connected to this collective creator consciousness. You help one, you help us all. You harm one, you harm us all. And once people get to realize that it doesn't matter where you are, where you were born, what your beliefs are, what church you go to, we're still the same collective being, and we need to help each other get to this higher place. And once we get there, there is no more stealing, there is no more crime, there isn't no more things, because when everybody can have an abundance of whatever they need, nobody's going to need to take from something that's freely given to them.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Absolutely. If I may,
Please.
forgive me. If I may, just to quickly add on the back of that, this is the great awakening, and everyone awakening. This is not happening by chance as well. And I need to say that this is by design, and it is to liberate the people. That's why they are awakening. You don't have everyone awakening to realize the corruption. There is a reason for it. So everyone is awaking to identify the problem, which is the existing system, and
Mhm.
choose the right thing and do the right thing and create this to end all the suffering. So there is the divine element with this, which is so important. And I hear ones, because I am one of the guardians and perhaps the perceived founding father of GPMS on Earth. What I need to say is this come from God. I am the messenger and the conduit and the guarantee of it on Earth. That's why I am still here. What GPMS is, it's not about Rick, it's not about a hierarchy. It's about creating that equality with all of the brothers and sisters, giving them all of the instruments instantly that they need to do this to civilize Earth and humanity. So we have everything to do this. This is the most ingenious, brilliant plan given by Creator
Yeah.
or prime Creator or God, whatever you wish to reference God as. It's all the
Yeah.
same thing.
And it's like everything you say is what I'm thinking. It's just incredible. I love it. It's like this, like I see a massive resurgence of ancient wisdom traditions, coming forth. Like that's the way I feel. Like all the medicines that will heal you, and all the heirloom seeds will return, and it's just like right. I
Mhm.
can almost see it ahead of me. Like we're right there at the door, and it's just a matter of
Well,
I don't
these
know, the creator being involved in this whole thing and making it happen. It's very exciting time. You know, as darkness grows, the light's growing too at the same time. It's like creating this balance, and knowing that it's growing means that we're coming at the end of a cycle, uh, from hierarchy to what we're really intended to be as a human race. So I'm excited for that. And this series is like very exciting for me because we're doing it in a timely fashion. We're doing it as it's happening. So it's very exciting that I found all you people, we got Barrett like very active in the chat. I told him to come in here, but he just wants to ask questions, and we're not going to be able to get out to all your questions, brother.
Come in, brother, and grace us with your
He's being
beautiful
shy.
love.
But you know,
I got to step out for one moment. I'll
okay,
be right
all right,
back.
okay.
Sounds good, brother. And Paul, Joe Cool says to say hi, and he might join us as well.
Yeah, he's welcome to join us as well. And all followers that have been following me for the last 2 years, you probably can tell that my beard is growing. You see? But I would say by 2050, you'll actually see it.
Nice. It's
Yeah.
like when I was in junior high school, and I got like bullied a lot when I was a kid. And, you know, I don't know why, but, you know, for some reason, people like to target their anger and their hate on me. And, you know, there was groups that were constantly attacking me. And I remember, I don't know if it was in grade 7 or grade 8, and I, you know, even like I'd get bullied by, you know, the group of bullies girls, and they were making fun of me, and they said that, look, he shaves his legs, he has no hair on his legs, you know, he shaves, and like I didn't have any hair on my legs in grade, apparently, or you couldn't really see it. And it just reminded me about, you know, the very little hair on the face. But rest assured, the hair grew in on my legs, and, you know, I so give you something to look forward to. I'm sure that facial hair will come in one day.
By 2050, we should have full beards by then.
So I was just earlier on with a group of journalists. They're called a journal club that, you know, I've kind of been a part of for the last, you know, a few years. It's not online. It's just a Zoom meeting that they get together. And today's discussion was consciousness. And they asked me what consciousness was. And, you know, we got deep into psychedelics, opening up the conscious mind, doing it naturally, you know, releasing the dimethyltryptamine naturally, opposed to, chemically inducing that kind of thing. But, you know, it was interesting, you know, talking more about like this consciousness and how once we open our minds, whether you do it naturally, whether you're programmed, whether you do it, you know, chemically, or whether you do it with natural medicines, but essentially we need to open up the mind to be able to accept these alternate realities, because they've closed off the mind. They've programmed people to believing that you need the bank account, that you need the job, that you need the money, that you need to do these things. And, you know, once you start to open up your mind and be able to see new, you know, things, then you can see that there's, you know, ways of getting around that slave mentality that they've wanted to put people into.
Oh, absolutely. That's for sure. And they've been pretty successful. I mean, they've done a good job, and they've gone through every possible way, from music, sound, frequencies, I mean, vibrations, words. I mean, this is a well thought out situation we're looking at, but it's no longer hidden. We can see it. And, you know, I know Barrett would be here, but he was wearing his onesie, and he was feeling a little shy. So, you know, I said, you know, come on, if you don't feel comfortable with your onesie, but we love you no matter what. We're still there for you, brother. See, I did it again. See, that's a way to raise frequency, is humor. to make you smile, to lift your spirits. That is an example of lifting your frequency and raising your frequency. Humor is a really great way to do that. It's temporary. It's like a little dopamine hit. It's like a like on Facebook. But it's something. It's something that has value in this process we're going through right now. Raising our frequency, getting a hold of our technology, our agriculture, not appointing kings. We're getting rid of the hierarchy, which has been the problem the whole time. Is this top-down and corruption all along the way. Every level, they protect their level and protects the other level. So they've really protected themselves from the courts to the police and, given liability protection to oil-based chemical medications, that don't actually heal. They just mask the symptom. And that is not a human way of thinking. A human way of thinking is what cures this. People have come out. We've had people coming out with waters that run on water, cars that run on water, free electricity. All these things are mankind at its best. And it's all been taken away and replaced with, things that fall apart, things that break. Our cars were so much better long ago. 50 years ago, our cars were built better. They lasted longer. The materials were better. Our roads were better. And returning to who God created us to be is really what we have to help each other through, because we don't really have a lot of time left. And unifying each other and coming together, because this isn't about kings and queens. This is about the creator and the end of this hierarchy system that doesn't have our best interest in mind. They're not here to improve the quality of our lives, the quality of our food, the quality of our relationships, the respect for male and female, the respect for our roles and how we prop each other up, how the men are to lead, but not to be authoritarian, but to lead by example, with honor and in righteousness, to lead. And, women are there for their own special purposes, and not are all the same. We all have a purpose. Not one of us is wasted space, and we can all be helped and guided and set on the right path, and that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to point you in the right directions, give you hints, keys, remedies, whatever we can to help you through this process. You can see a brand new world. It doesn't have to be what they have scripted in the scriptures. They scripted the pen of the scribe is a lie, and we have to, it's right in their own book. They don't lie about it. They say, "Oh, we're lying," and the truth table is not about lies. It is about timing, being mindful, being exploratory with your ideas and your potential, finding your potential and becoming who you're meant to be. And I'm just a host here, and listen to me going on and on and on and on. I'm worse than with that missing link guy. Oh my God, he just go on and on.
You got Rick here. We got to pull out that knowledge out of him. So Barrett is saying here, if GPMS guarantees universal access to value, what precise enforceable mechanism both anchors that value in real economic terms and prevents it from being captured, infiltrated, or controlled by the very power structures it seeks to replace across all jurisdictions and over time.
No, once again, I believe I didn't hear all of that, but most of that is coming from a scarcity mindset, yet, if you will. What it's bringing in to the mix is things that don't even exist up here again, as I explained earlier. So, see, the thing is, when you enter, and we have this provision on the GPMS website for any, when you enter the website, please put your mind in a place of objectivity and neutrality. Because if you are coming from the current fear-based consciousness, what you are going to be doing, you are creating a negative thought virus environment in your consciousness, and your perspective is going to be oriented towards looking for problems rather than seeing it is the full solution. And this is where the convolution and misconceptions appear with ones, and also their own fears. For example, we've seen with certain words, and Brother Paul would love this, certain words were like a vampire looking at garlic to ones. And we say one little word in this entire replacement system that is all inclusive for humanity, but you allow one little word to control you to prevent you from being a part of it. How nonsensical is that? And when you look at words as well as pictures, GPMS is bringing everyone together with that one common goal: complete freedom and abundance, peace, harmony, all of these things. Why would you allow one word or even one bad apple to stand in the way of that? That is the complete nonsense. But this is what the negative mindset begins to create. It begins to look for problems rather than solutions. And this is the consciousness and the conditioning and the programming that comes from a fear survival imprint. But
Rick,
hey, guess
Rick,
what?
so would you
Yes,
say then there's already an abundance here? GPMS will just
absolutely.
help to distribute it equally among the people?
Absolutely. And realize that it's already here within 24 hours. If we had the majority consent in one nation that has its own currency or worldwide, we would be dispersing funds, the initial rollout in that one nation or worldwide. We have it, it's all provisioned here on the website to release the money. It's all done. The only holdup is the people themselves not ratifying this concrete agreement for their new reality. Yes, we can do it within 24 hours. We don't need to build anything. Everything is already here. Unlimited abundance is already here. We just need the people to agree to activate it for everyone,
Right.
and
Yep.
end this insanity.
I agree. And I agree with you, Barrett. True Table is a space for open inquiry and honest dialogue. Absolutely, 100%. It's not about pushing a single narrative, but about bringing different perspectives to the table and exploring what feels real, grounded, and true through conversation. You're going to be punished for not coming on here, Barrett. You're going to get 3 Truth Table demerit points. But yeah, it is about cooperation, working together, and voting together, making it changes if necessary together. But really, it's all based on common sense. What needs to be done? It's not based on hierarchy. It's about agreement, consensus, and that's what the truth table is about too. exploring what people understand, what people know, and hearing them out, and working together to agree. Because when two or more are gathered in my name, I am
will
in
be
the
there.
midst of them. And I love that phrase, that scripture. There was no lie in that scripture. The pen of the lie was not
Not
there.
at all. It's real truth. Yeah.
Rick, you said in a matter of 24 hours the funds could be dispersed. So could you maybe explain a little bit about what you mean by the funds? Is there like a GPMS coin? Would it be American dollars? Would it be the won? Like how would funds be dispersed within 24 hours to make GPMS a reality within 24 hours of getting a majority consent of a nation or the world?
Mhm.
Well, perhaps I'll use the individual nation as an example. And I'm in Romania, let's use Romania. So, with a relatively small population of perhaps approximately 20 million. And also within Romania, they have their own currency that circulates. Now, what occurs when the majority of the people in Romania decide and choose GPMS? They are the lawful ratified majority, which cannot be contested by uh, any other system, if you will. And the reason for this, these are the majority. Romania is a democratic country, at least, that respects, acknowledges a majority. But these majority are equipped with the ultimate solution, all inclusive for everyone. So there is going to be no resistance, and it would be absolute nonsense for someone to identify them as a resistance to what eradicates poverty and harm. So that scenario doesn't even happen. It's about the majority empowering theirself and quickly switching the appropriation of value from a government creating limited money out of thin air to the people at having unlimited access to whatever money they need to put everyone in joy and comfort. Now, what happens within a nation that does this? It sets off a chain reaction worldwide for the simple reason, let's say in Romania, it has Romanian lei as its dollar form or RON. What happens with this? Because GPMS is what the people chose, it is unlimited intrinsic value upon the individuals, meaning that it is the ultimate form of currency. What it means is the rest of the world cannot compete with an unlimited dollar that can constantly, instantly create dollars out of thin air. It eradicates competition. Competition and greed are part of the capitalistic system of control. It eradicates all that. So let's say what occurs, let's say if a vegetarian pizza over in Hungary begins to cost, let's say if it costs $20 million, it doesn't matter to a Romanian because they instantly print $20 million to buy that. Just just as an example of how this currency is the ultimate, and it forces the rest of the world to comply with it. But ideally, what is occurring, because this is the divine replacement system, that the entire world is going to adopt it as one. But it doesn't matter if one individual nation succeeds to a majority of that population first, they activate it for the rest of the world. When you look at Canada with about 40 million population, and currently you have perhaps more than 10 million that are dissenting or perhaps it's the majority of the population. If they just come together and ratify GPMS in a couple days, they have the full power of their country and unlimited money. There are no more problems. It doesn't matter then if the price of oil goes to $20,000 a barrel, because their dollar is unlimited and it's ultimate and it buys everything. So you see how the outside world with geopolitics is erased, and it becomes common sense for everyone to share in all of the resources. In being realistic here and practical, the world has what you would call almost an unlimited supply of oil reserves. But you're not going to be using this in the new world. But the point I'm going to make is that when money is no longer a hindering factor and you roll out as many drill rigs as you want, you have unlimited oil as well. But I should use the water one. I love using that with drilling the artesian wells in the desert of, let's say, Egypt, and making oases everywhere. So, where money is unlimited, it's no longer a hindering factor. The tables, Paul, like Jesus, the tables on the money exchangers are flipped with GPMS. It restores the power to the temple, the unlimited intrinsic value.
Well, I
So
think
I just wanted to say one
go ahead.
thing, Paul, if I may. So I met Rick maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He's been on the Missing Link numerous times, and explaining GPMS and how this was divinely given to him, the blueprint on how to help humanity out of the kind of rather stuck we're in. And when he was just talking right now, I just seen it, and in a way I never seen it before. And what came to me right now was, what you were saying is that right now people are printing money out of thin air, but it's only benefiting a small group of people. They've learned how to manipulate currency, money, and print money whenever they need to print money to give to wars in Ukraine, to print money to give gender studies in Africa, to print money for whatever. There's always an abundance, but it's only been for a small group of people. GPMS wants to adopt that system, but allow anyone to be able to print the money that's needed for whatever's needed. So that way, you want to even the playing field by being able to print whatever is needed to get what anybody needs. Is that kind of this is what kind of just kind of hit me right now?
Let me say, Jesse, you're getting closer. We're not adopting that system of money creation. What we're actually doing is they create money out of thin air, virtually by just typing some figures now. What we are doing the same, except the people control it and does what is right with it, do no harm, and uplift all boats. So this is the difference. Their system, how it works, is they create money, then they subjugate humanity to their system. The way GPMS works, it creates money and it shares it equally with all. There are no looping in GPMS. GPMS is a full credit system. There are no backdoor ledgers or looping mechanisms. The way the current system works to control humanity is they print money and then they use receipts and taxes and all of these things to loop it back into what they only create, because they're controlling the creation of it for humanity. There are two sets of books, the one they give to humanity, and also, as you said, They're unlimited books. That's why they're always in complete abundance. But they put the illusion on humanity that they or the central banks are the only ones able to create money. But this is the lie. That is the illusion that they have captivated most of humanity in. And with this, at this current time, it's all being exposed in the last decade because God is real. I am connected fully to God. That is the reason I'm here. If I did not know this and know who I was, I would not even be doing this. God is real, and this is the divine plan. And it's not, and we've kept it as simple for humanity to perceive it as a simple vote. Because the truth is, humanity doesn't have time. We do not have time to educate all of humanity. So we ask them simply, do you want your free, peaceful, abundant, harmonious world? Or do you want this existing system that is keeping you constantly in a state of survival and fear? It becomes the no-brainer choice. That's why we have children as young as 7 consenting theirself. They know the difference. They want the free and abundant world. In their 7 years of life, they have witnessed their parents nonsensically and unnecessarily struggling in a world that doesn't make any sense to them. I've heard children say, young children about 6 years old, say to their father, Dad, why are you have to pay money for a house? Why do you have to pay for a mortgage? The child couldn't understand it because it didn't make sense to the child, because the child is already ingrained and instilled with this heaven on earth scenario. It's absolute nonsense, but it is the conditioning that was there in most of humanity that is now breaking down as the illusion is being dissolved in front of everyone's faces. You have to make a choice, and you have to make it now.
How much has GPMS progressed in the last, 4 or 5 years since I met you?
We're up to over 400,000 consents. See, GPMS also, what you're dealing with, and Jesse, you just come off of an important journalistic meeting speaking about consciousness. What we're dealing with is the evolution of consciousness of humanity as well. So there are contributing factors, because when you see this now, both of you and who's ever watching this, when I explain it, it becomes perfect sense. Choose it now. Don't wait. We've got to end all of the suffering, all of the children worldwide and that are being harmed and even, let's say, killed, and innocent women in these wars, innocent women and with innocent children. So again, it's we began in 2021, I believe it was, Jesse, on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. And we've been progressing forward, but at the same time, see, humanity is raising in their consciousness. But during that process, they need to see and identify that there is an actual evil, that there is an actual darkness. Without them knowing that, there is no movement. They just continue to try to adapt. Humanity is good at trying to adapt. However, they are now so compressed, they can no longer adapt. So they have to make a choice for what is sane in the new earth.
Paul, what does consciousness mean to you?
Well,
Consciousness. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, forgive me.
Well, I was going to ask you both, but I know Paul, is ready to share.
Well, I'm going along with all of it. I agree with everything. I'm not sure about the negative powers would love to have unlimited funds. So I think there is a
They already do.
potential abuse, because otherwise I would have a Lamborghini tomorrow.
But what
Because
would be wrong with that? And why would that be abuse, right? If that's what you really wanted, you should be able to access whatever you want. You know, when you said the potential for abuse, it's already being abused for hundreds, if not thousands of years. There's a small group that is manipulated to be able to print money, to attain whatever they want, to keep humanity subjugated to the scarce mentality where they're controlling it all, where everybody should be able to access that. So if anybody could access whatever they wanted, there essentially wouldn't be able to be abuse, because you could just have whatever you wanted. If you wanted 10 Lamborghinis, then you could have 10 Lamborghinis. Like, why should, someone, if there's an abundance and you can print money and everybody could print money for whatever they wanted, just like the controllers do now, and everybody had that ability, it wasn't just for them, then essentially you could have whatever you wanted. Hey, Joe, cool. Nice to see you, brother.
Thank you. Good to see you again, Paul. Jesse,
Welcome.
love you, man. And Rick, nice to meet you, man.
Rick is in Romania, and he's been divinely inspired to create a system called GPMS, where it takes takes things on their model where the small group of people were able to print money to attain whatever they wanted, and levels the playing field. That
The
each and
government
every
didn't come
single
in and choke them out and blow up their homes. Oh my God.
each and every single person can have that ability to attain whatever they wanted, to have that ability to print, money for whatever it is that you essentially need in this life.
All right. If
monetary
they got any
sovereignty.
links, please send me both of the links. I don't think you sent me Paul's either. When it's done, Jesse, not now. And Rick's too, if you can. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's in the description. And Shane, you can join
I
us
don't
as
know how to
well.
get to your channel. I don't even know what forum, if we're on Facebook. I don't even know where we are.
We're on
Jesse
X.
just sent me a link. I want to, I don't know where we are.
I'm on X, Facebook, and Rumble.
Okay.
He's a YouTube guy. Are you at a YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube, but I don't go live on YouTube. I just download it later. But it is in the description, the link. I can send it to Jesse, and he can send it to you to the DMS website.
Yeah.
Or GMS, or
Which one do you prefer having the link to?
I don't use Facebook. What were the other ones he named?
Rumble and Twitter.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't use Rumble. Send me the Twitter. Maybe I'll put it on my other phone. I might have a Twitter on one of my phones. I don't know. I'll check. Send me the Twitter one.
Good heavens.
Yeah.
It's in the description though. And it will be on YouTube in the description. Let's see. I will oops, I clicked the wrong one.
Send Jesse your YouTube
I'll send
channel.
it to Jesse. Yeah,
I can keep up with you that way, just
Okay.
through messages or something.
Yep.
And what's the other guys? Rick. You guys probably went over this already, but I am absolutely interested. I've had this conversation, and we always felt like if you make your own money or fuel, they are, the government's gonna feel like he's getting cut out and they're gonna attack. I would, at some point love to know how it works out. And you're in Romania, it's probably different than here. So maybe you guys are a more rural area or something. Here the police stay in your business.
So what Rick, I think, is, explaining or, helping to bring to consciousness is that you need a majority of people in a country. He essentially would want the world, but he thinks if one country adopts this, then all the other countries are going to be forced to adopt it. So if you have the majority in a country, then you own, the police and the military and all these things, because everybody's benefiting now from the system in the country. It's just a matter of making people aware that there is a system that can equal the playing field
outside
everyone
of
everyone in that country. And so now you don't have to worry about, maybe you have to worry about some other countries countries wanting to bomb your shit, if your stuff is free. But he doesn't want to have fear into this, that once it's adopted, that everyone will just essentially want to have this, because now it essentially frees everyone from being a slave.
We gotta
It's
introduce this
important.
guy to Jack, man, because Jack has a similar philosophy and stuff. Maybe he could sharpen Jack up a
Did I
little bit.
think, Rick, did I introduce you to Jack Talcott? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I think we did. We had
Yeah, I did introduce him.
yeah, I had one meeting with him a while ago, but I don't believe, he fully got the
He
simplicity of
he
it as well.
he needs
Joe, what
more
this
teaching. He
is,
needs you to help. Go ahead.
yeah, Joe, what this is an entire replacement system. Politics, military, and police, as you understand them, they don't exist in this system. There is no need for any of that. So it's important not to confuse this replacement system with anything that you have now with your political structure. This doesn't work that way. And this is the reason why everyone's been awakening to know how the entire system is the illusion. It is the beast system. It is the corrupt system that is designed to create harm, to create suffering
We
and
agree.
disparity. So you have your monetary system with it, and you have your artificial man made laws with it, that's also designed to control, suppress, and enslave.
Here in the what do I call it? I want diagram simulation model. In the model that you have, um, you're doing natural law, yeah. Harm no man, steal from no one.
It's universal law, do
Yeah.
no harm, yes, and it's also it's the full intrinsic inherent unalienable rights. It is your foundation of law in that mutual respect of do no harm. And the monetary system and the law is designed that none of this can occur in it. Anyway,
So I, so I'm gonna assume, and this is the model. Which, if I were some guy who was gonna create something, I'd start here. Um, uh,
well, you
um,
don't really, if I may, you don't really need to start here. It's already here
I
for
like it.
everyone. No
I
one
like
needs
it.
to try to create parallel monetary systems and sovereign communities. This is it. It's all inclusive for everyone. It's already here. Everyone
Mike,
just needs
Mike,
to ratify it.
that's what I was
So,
gonna say. In order to pull
yeah.
some things off, we'll need some type of government. We might call it a different name, but it'll be a
What you
government.
have
Yeah,
is yeah, you have administration panels, but what occurs with these administrative panels, they're all volunteer. They
right.
receive their own money the same as everyone else. So
That's
they're just
important.
volunteering, contributing their few hours that they are responsible to for the worldwide community.
Very good.
So they're contributing their few hours, and they just do a little bit of programming to disperse the funds, if you
Right.
will, as the reports come in from ones that say, all right, I'm ready. I've worked 10 hours this month, just unlock my next my next month's worth of funds. And with this system, everyone is paid in advance, a month ahead. But what very quickly occurs, this type of a system only happens for about 9 months, because what
Right.
occurs after its implementation, humanity says, what are we even using money for? We don't need it. We are a worldwide community in harmony, sharing everything with everyone. Money is no longer a hindering factor because we have the unlimited supply. So we have everything we need. We're
But
all
Right.
thriving and working together. So now, in this universal nation, what GPMS already is, it's a bona fide, lawful universal nation with universal jurisdiction. So what you have is everyone in the entire world no longer needs to work 40, 60, 70 hours a week. You only need to work about 4 to 10 hours, or perhaps, 4 to 6 hours. And the reasoning for that, all of these jobs, your financial sector worldwide is the biggest employer with approximately a workforce of 2 billion that is in there. All of these jobs become obsolete. They are no longer needed. They don't do anything for humanity. All you really need around the world is about 1,000 individuals out of that workforce to distribute the funds and to ensure the program is working. Now, anyone that has apprehension about digital funds, it's important to know when the people vote in their for GPMS, the majority in their country, not only do they take control of the ability to print money digitally, but also with the physical printing presses if they want that. And they can circulate that still within their country. So
If I
there
if I
is,
if I may, Paul.
yeah,
Basically 50 to 75% of jobs out there are useless. It's just the system, feeding the system. Now, if the jobs are useless, then, well, I think Rick is saying is that once we eliminate all the BS, then, those people from that workforce, I guess, will be able to help on the 25 to 35% of real jobs out there. And Shane Wolf's comment in your Facebook says,
Yes,
you're
I was
forgetting the
looking
fact
at that.
that labor is creating these things. That's why we have money, is to pay for people's labor. There isn't abundance of people that don't contribute. Now, when you're looking at a system like this, is that there are people that don't work a day in their life because they enjoy what they do. If you're a farmer growing food, that's your life. You just grow it up, get up and take care of the animals. You're not working. So those people aren't going to stop working. And now if they know that they're contributing to a collective, that they can actually attain anything they want in this world just because they get up and do what they love. There's people out there that love driving the trucks and transporting things. And, they're going to continue doing those things, and they're going to be able to attain an abundance of whatever it is that they want now in a system. So they're actually even more excited to do what they're accustomed to doing if these jobs were technically, a necessity. But when you have 50 to 70% of jobs being useless, then it actually takes all those people now to find things that they love doing, which now enables the other 25 to 35% to do a lot less, because you've got these 75 that need to do shit. And there are going to people that don't want to do shit, but it doesn't matter,
Yep.
because that's fine. If you just want to do drugs and stare at the freaking clouds all day long, and that's your purpose, that's your purpose. You should still be able to enjoy the benefits of being born into a place where there is abundance. And the only reason there is an abundance, because there's a small group of people, fake scarcity in order to control the masses. And there
That's true.
truly is abundance. And if people just want to paint all day, they paint all day. But there are people out there that enjoy farming, that enjoy transporting, that enjoy these things, that are still going to do it, whether they're getting paid or not. But this way, now that they can have anything they want, they're actually going to be more enthusiastic about doing the things that because wow, they're like, not only am I contributing, now I can have that Ferrari like Paul wants outside. I can have these things which scarcity didn't allow them to have before.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that kind of
true.
Rick? I just, like I said, I'm seeing this in more clear than I've ever seen this before. And
rock and
Joe,
roll, brother.
I
You're
met
rocking.
I
Yeah.
I met Rick probably 4 or 5 years ago. He's been on the Missing Link numerous times, so he's been
Cool.
explaining to this in my audience or the audience, quite a bit. And I've been just trying. I've been asking about,
Good.
well, what do you mean? I've been telling them, well, maybe you should just get a crypto so that you can monetize it. I've been battling and trying to figure it out, but
Look like
he
he's
was
really thought it out, right? He's got a separate currency, blah blah. Looks like he's
I
really thought it out. The points you made, he
if,
didn't say, but they sound beautiful. Paul, was that you trying to say something?
Nope.
if I
Nope.
may, Joe, if I may, my background is in law, in trading, and also I was a commercial captain, fishing captain at one time.
Yeah.
But let's just
All right.
say extensive background in law and finance. But Joe, you're just coming late, perhaps. God is very real. This is God's plan that is given through I. I am not just human, and I would not be here if I was. I know
Question.
without a question or of a
I have
doubt
a question.
that God is real. This is the real plan.
I have a
Yeah,
question. What you
but
just
that's
said there, does that only go for you, or could it possibly go for someone like Jesse? You say, I know God here put the plan through me and all of that. Is it just you, or would other people be where you are, like Jesse?
No, no, no. There's a lot more, in this great time, and I work with so many. They also know that God is real, that God has spoken with them. So no, and the beauty of this, Joe Cool, is that every day more and more are realizing that God is real because we are in this time. And the
Yeah.
funny thing about it, it was written about, and once thought it was just a fantasy or a story, but the reality of it is that it's real, and
It,
more are discovering that.
listen, I'm spare you the dramatics. You're preaching to the choir. You won't have to spend 2 seconds convincing me that God is real. Just so you know.
Way to
Uh,
go, brother.
Yeah.
Good
uh,
and
stuff.
and
You're
uh,
right on
and I've
track.
never been to church a day in my life. I've come to this on my own. All right. About your program, though, the one stickling point, well, I've had other people had other conversations about this. When it comes to police, there's always some people who act up. What do we do with the guy who decides, I don't know, he's gonna, I don't know, harm
Well,
a neighbor or beat up the old lady because he don't like the clothes she's wearing that day?
uh,
What do we do with him?
that what I say is that everyone's going to be so happy. They're not going to have time to be angry or aggressive. You also
Well, you
need
gotta,
to
starting off, maybe down the line in years when people realize it, but starting out, everybody won't get it and catch on. There'll be people who are just emotional for that day because the dog died or something and take it out on the wrong person. Someone will get harmed, right? You're not just counting on no one ever gets harmed again. That's not right. Go ahead.
I'll take this one.
Yeah,
So Rick's view, and he feels this was divinely inspired, and to answer your previous question, that
that's
it's
not
in
even a
all
hard
of us.
sell for me,
It's
Jesse.
it's it's in a, but I'm not to the point yet. It's
Yeah,
in all of us. You're asking, is it just him? But it's in
right.
everyone. Everybody's connected to that divine. Just some people realize it more. Some people actually utilize it more, and some people
Yes,
reject it. But we're even the ones that reject are still connected to that same thing. So
we
what's in
agree.
him is in you, is in me, is in everybody, whether you believe it, reject it, or whatever. It's the collective creator doesn't shun anybody, whether they say certain words or names or not. It's just
We agree.
to that point. But to the point which I think Rick is
When the
feeling
bad
is
guy
going
does something,
to
yeah.
happen, that's going to happen is once this consciousness shifts where there's an abundance for all, there's no longer going to be need for stealing because you can have anything you want. There's going to be
I
no
know that's why I
crime is
used
going
harm because
right.
stealing, that one's
No, no,
more
no, no. I know.
obvious.
I haven't
Yeah,
got there yet. And so, things are going to shift. Crime is going to drop to basically nil. But then there's also going to be, people that are still drug addicted, anger addicted, traumatic. There's a lot of trauma. And, I think if maybe Rick is looking at it, that maybe that God force or that creator force is going to be instilled and maybe create where, people will be uplifted. But if not, there's always going to be public policing. If I'm walking down the street and I see somebody harming an animal or a woman or whatever, I'm the first one that's going to jump in there. If you're in Russia and someone's bothering some girl, you got 4 guys that are going to go out and thump them. Right. So it's more of not waiting for some, person with a gun who can execute somebody, that to deal with something. I think when you're in a system that you really care about, that you really want to protect, then you're going to have the protector, especially at the beginning out in the streets, protecting to make sure that these people that are still traumatically drug induced, that's anger, whatever it is going on with them, that there's going to have to be the protectors that step out forefront until all of that anger, all of that trauma, all of that is released. And then the protectors can less have to be on guard because, now we're in abundance of systems.
Hey, stop, Jesse. Pause. You're killing. Oh, Greg, do you agree with this, what Jesse's saying? All this seems to fall naturally to me. I don't think he said nothing wrong so far. Is that what your system talks about?
No, there is no preservation or fear or security in the system. This is the heaven on earth. Now, just think for a minute. Are you going to have someone beating up what they would call a woman or their girlfriend in a heaven on earth? Does that exist in heaven? No, it doesn't. And also, when you look at and when you look from where we're at here now, if you have a bad apple in a bag, do you leave it there to spoil the rest of the apples?
That's why I asked you.
Take it out. No,
is that what you're saying? We take it out?
But how do you take it out, and who takes it out is what Joe's trying to, get you to explain to him.
All right, but here's what I'm saying. We're here with the bag of apples and one bad apple in it. So do you allow this bad apple to stop you, all of the other apples from going forward? No, that is absolute nonsense. So this one bad apple up in a heaven on earth, there are no bad apples.
Yeah.
So you're going with Jesse's first part. Jesse said either you think that God has a cure for everybody, or you have a solution, and he gave you his. So you're going with the first part of what he said, that at this time, God will remove certain things from us, like any angers and all of that bull stuff.
That is the best way, yes, brother. You don't have these things in heaven. Yeah,
I see his.
They don't exist.
I see his system.
Let's let Paul in. He hasn't spoken.
I see his system working after the fact. We're going through a process right now, and we do have enemies around us. We have immigration of incompatible belief systems. So his system works beyond this stage that we're going through, beyond this war, beyond this darkness.
Paul,
once implemented, all these bad things won't exist anymore. So I think this is a post evolution system.
I understand.
We're divided into two. So there are the bad people, low frequency people, and then the high frequency people. And we're talking about the system of the high frequency people, the people that
Paul. This is to question
rise up
to you, and you just made me just think of this question and your system. And please don't answer for him, Dick. And what you see of the system and all of these things. Does religion play a part at all?
I think the truth about religion should play a part. I think retranslating the originals, and because these are stories, these are tales. They're not.
Could a Muslim or a Hindu live in our land?
Yeah, I think that in an elevated frequency, a lot of these religions will be seen for what they are, control mechanisms made to conflict with each other. Because really, if they all represented the creator, there would be no conflicts. Because there are conflicts, it reveals that they are not working with the people. and that's just another form that the creator will just break apart that veil of lies.
That's a great answer, Dick. I'm sorry if I'm
The,
being talking
Rick,
too much.
eh,
Rick,
it's
I'm
Rick,
gonna
may
call
I?
you Dick. I'm sorry. I'm scared to
but
zoom in. I tried to do that. My
but
phone
I
dropped
just
last time. I'm scared to make the picture bigger. I'm
I've been called
sorry,
that. I've been
Rick.
called that myself.
May, may, may I say?
Rick,
May I
if you
say
go
the
ahead.
problem? The problem with any belief system, including religion and spiritual beliefs, is not the belief itself.
Mhm.
It's the people and how they interpret it
Yes.
that creates the
We agree.
problem.
Yeah. The
If you
content of
look
the
at
character.
all
Yes.
belief systems, they have the core values which are fundamental for spiritual growth, self empowerment,
I
and
like it.
what have you. So the problem is not with religion itself,
Very
it's
good.
with people and it's with the darkness using it to pin people against
Very
each
good.
other to cause separation, conquer, control and divide, or divide and conquer. And so the problem is not, these are vital and
Y'all a
fundamental
cold team.
core
Y'all a cold. I know
values.
Jesse cold, so
Ooh,
you guys are a
I'm feeling.
cold
I
team.
feel a
So
rush right now.
so so
What
so
happens
this
Yeah,
is
next?
what I
so
was this is what I was gonna say is that there's nothing, and it's weird as me saying it, there's nothing wrong with religion, but you need to be able to accept that other religions are okay because it's just your pathway to creator. And what they
right,
made people believe this dark is that no other religion is okay but yours. And
right.
that's
Mhm.
where the divisive come in. You know,
Well said.
to say that you want to implement a new system, but religion's not allowed, you're gonna
Right.
have religion fundamentalists who can go fuck yourself. You know, they're not gonna accept any of that shit,
Mhm.
right? So you have to
Yeah.
be able to incorporate people's belief systems,
Rick
whether
did
you
it
agree with them or not. You just
when
want to
he
make sure you accept other people's as
Mm.
well.
Yeah.
They're
when
just
he
as
opened
valuable as
up.
yours.
When he opened up, the only restrictions he gave was you can't harm other people or steal their property. That would fall under any religion. I don't care if you worship the spaghetti monster,
Mhm.
as long as you're not giving your neighbors
Except
problems.
except the Talmud. It actually does.
I wish I was just showing
It
some of
Well,
is.
the time man
Yeah.
yesterday.
It's like the one.
is that a religion though?
It's like the one religion that's not like the others.
Well, I think it's just a perversion of Judaism, right?
We agree.
Yeah.
Me and you agree. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but what I think Joe was trying to, comprehend here was what John Zadainina from the
Yeah.
Facebook says. What happens in the transition period?
Yeah,
So,
let me
you know,
rephrase the question because
okay,
I was going to do it. I just didn't want to hog the conversation. If you were listening when I called you Dick, this is what I was going to ask. The same shit Jesse did. Paul phrased it well. There will be a moment of transition. All these things are occurring, and you're more open to things happening in that era. Do you agree, first of all, that there will be a transition period until people get it down packed, or is the other alternative day one when we come up to plan, God removes all hostility from us? It's probably the latter.
Yes.
Or, I'm sorry, the former.
I know. I think that's absolutely right. As the frequencies are rising, things are going to fall away from us. I mean, we're all. I'm excited to witness, to see what happens, and my imagination is limitless, because the Creator is limitless. So I'm excited to see the rising. Where we become
Yeah.
what we're intended to be, because we certainly aren't ruled by
You know, this this is
that
going
way.
to change it a little bit, but I got an opinion on what I think that is. I think those that spiritual intelligences, the dark ones, that they keep us. They inhabit other people, not so much me, you, Jesse, and Rick, but they inhabit the other people. And when I say, or Jesse says, listen, you should forgive this person or be merciful, they inhabit the other people around us to yell at us and say, you're weak. Do you see what he did? He got to pay. And they keep
Yeah.
you from letting those things develop, those virtues develop. Right. That's another thing that's actually real and have to overcome.
Yep, I agree. But I think there's two paths. Mankind is being divided into two: low frequency, high frequency, and that we have to accept that. There's nothing we can do about that. Now, on a spiritual level, I believe as we rise in frequency, we're not visible to low frequency anymore.
I like it. That was
Like,
dope the way you
as
put
like we
that.
don't see the spiritual
You
world
don't mean
because they vibrate at a higher
ahead.
level. And as we're rising, we'll still see each other. But the low frequency, it's like a rapture, really. We'll like rapture.
we'll be invulnerable to them.
Yeah, like
But
no,
well, invulnerable. It'd be nice to think that we would be invulnerable, but this is back to John's question: what happens in the transition period?
Mhm.
So when
Oh
people are at this
yeah.
higher level, there's a split between the higher frequency. We don't see them. We don't let them bounce of us. But what happens, Rick, to some of these people during this transition period that are in the lower frequency that try to harm people that are in this high frequency? Who deals with it, and how are they dealt with in what you've envisioned?
Very good.
Well, what's occurring? We are in the tribulation period, and anyone that wishes to do a little bit of research, you can substantiate that for yourself. And it's important to know this. Now, in this tribulation period is also the spiritual battle between the forces of light and darkness.
yes,
And this is what each of you has been, at least at some point in the past, and everyone watching this has been subjugated to these spiritual tests. You come to realize that the forces here are not just human, that there is an actual evil, and it does have the malevolent, malicious intent.
We agree so
However,
far.
at the same time, you need to look at, if it had any power, why are you still here? You're still here because it has no power, and there is a huge spiritual battle that is occurring. It's both, though. It's individual within the individual, and it's also on the outside.
Due
And
respect,
this,
Rick. Did you dodge John's question?
pardon?
Jesse, yeah, he
Due
What
was
is it?
talking
respect.
about
Reiterate it,
what
please.
I was
It was beautiful.
what happens in the
What happens in the
things, but it wasn't
we're
wasn't an
already in
answer.
the
So
we're in the,
we're
Some
already
guy,
in
yeah,
the
some guy
transition.
hurts
but
his
the reason
neighbor. What do we do?
but the thing
What
thing
is the
is
question? We got two here then? Please, clarity.
the
Mm-mm.
Is there
transition.
two
What happens in the
questions on the
transition
floor?
period? So what
What
happens in,
happens
yeah,
in the transition?
When someone
And
hurts someone else
the actual
during the
transmission
transition.
happens in a second, less than a second. So it's going to hit us like a rocks, and we're going to be instantly risen. It's not a
but to
gradual
be fair,
thing.
Paul,
We're
Paul,
we're
but Paul, to
experiencing
be
an
fair, he was talking
awakening.
about one country.
We're experiencing awakening pre-transition, but we're going to all rise together, and people are going to stay, and people are going to rise. And as we vibrate at a higher frequency, we're not going to be visible anymore to low frequency people. So no weapons formed against will prosper at that point. We're just not there yet. We haven't transitioned yet.
Are you saying, Paul, again, the
Rapture.
visible thing you said earlier, you clarified that we would see each other visibly?
Yeah.
Are you saying that now, or are you saying we transition away from that
The
plane?
people on a higher frequency will see each other still, will still exist.
Well, I mean, well, we see the lower frequency people. If
But
if say I'm in
we,
Detroit, will I see a lower frequency person walking down the street, or just you
I
guys?
don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think
It
so.
sounds like you're talking about raptured, and you're
It,
talking about
it's
everybody
yeah,
elevating to a different plane of existence that we
yes,
won't even be around. So that's
yes.
what it sounds
Right.
like to me. But I
That's
think Rick
exactly it. We
is
don't
not
see,
looking at it as a
yeah,
rapture
because
like
we
that.
don't see jinns and angels.
No, Rick still has us walking around down here, and
I don't
the
think.
horns and stuff.
I think when it happens, Rick's system will be benign. It won't be necessary because we
I
will
would agree.
actually be living without money, the need of money, and we will like embrace
Okay,
it.
so Paul, you must consider Rick's system pre-rapture.
Yes.
This is what the discussion is. You must
Yes.
consider that. And
That,
again, Rick,
however, if I
pre-rapture,
may,
what do we do when someone harms someone
Just to,
else?
yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
all right, if I may, first thing for clarity, this should not be called Rick's system. It's called the people's system. So it's every brother and sister that is a member of this. It is an equal system. They are an equal representation of it the moment that they consent to it. So it's not Rick's system.
I'll
It
call it
is
by a
put
different
here
name,
for
though we could disagree.
humanity.
I don't want to be
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Well,
the
I think
bad
I think he
guest.
gets that, but I think he was
But
just for clarity saying the system that
yeah,
was divinely given to you, that's the people system. So if he mentions
I
Rick's system,
understand.
he was
That's why I'm not going to
just
fight
saying
about
the
it.
system that was inspired to you, and I think it was just for ease of discussion, just to
for the
label it that
I'll
way.
public's
But
call it
I
the
know
benefit.
he
people's
gets it.
Yeah,
system.
And I
What
would,
yeah.
happens in the people's system? You're not answering directly. You don't understand. I'm going to
I
start
didn't get
wondering.
there yet. You're
Oh, I'm
asking,
sorry.
here is the individual's
Because
choice
Rick, I'm sorry. I'm
during.
gonna be a little rude. Please forgive me, both you, all of you. I'm sorry.
of course. No, don't worry.
The reason that I am getting short and stuff is because you're telling me stuff before you answer my question every time I ask it, and you never get to the answer.
Oh,
And I might be getting a little short and cutting you off at this point because I want the answer. I'm afraid that you're gonna tell me a bunch of stuff about the system before, and if you give me an answer, what happens to the guy who hurt someone?
yeah. What happens if someone hurts another human being during or before this transition,
Every
or during this
time,
transition? Yes.
what I wish to say is we have a delay here when one speak, and it seems like every time that I go to speak, there is the interruption because of the delay.
I understand.
And this is causing a delay in answering respectfully your question.
All right, and I'm
What
sorry if I was
happened?
disrespectful.
No, it's fine, brother. No one needs to apologize. I'm
My
just
man.
creating the clarity of the situation. Now I'll get to your question. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. So what occurs, if during this transitioning period into heaven, what occurs if someone hits you? Well, there are many things at play. If someone hits you, if you will, first thing you have the choice to react or not. You have the choice to turn the other cheek.
Hey, pause,
But
Rick.
if but
Yeah.
if someone hits you, then it's good to go inside to look at you yourself, to look at, are you negative? Have you given a reason for this to occur? Because everything is energetics. And if you are still not purified yourself, you may get hit. But by doing the inner work and purifying yourself, because of the physics involved, it will not allow you to be hit nor be harmed. This is the
All right. I
higher
was wondering if you
truth.
were thinking that. And just for the
Yeah.
record, my question was not if someone hits me, I can control that, decide to hit back or not. My stuff was in the system when we're living together. If someone is taking advantage of my old lady next door neighbor, harming someone else. In Jesse's thing, of course, some men would come out to stop them from hitting that old lady because he has a mental issue. The dog died, he's depressed, or whatever the fuck. Excuse me. Someone will come out and stop it. Uh, if someone is harming somewhere else, it's someone else. If you can go back to that moment, I'm not even in it, so I can't say I won't hit back. I'm standing by watching an old lady get hit. What does our system have for that? The people's
It
system.
has,
Like,
well, it
is there a
has you.
GPMS
If
police
you're
force?
watching,
Is there
it,
is
it
there
has,
as police force to start, like, is there are people free to deal with their own things? Oh, you got something crawling up the wall behind you, Rick, butterfly or something. But I think that's the clarity that we're just trying to get, like, because there's going to be people at the beginning still that's unruly, right? That's for some reason or another that are, just going to want to, maybe cause harm to the system, don't agree with the system. There's going to be people that maybe, like Joe said, are having a bad day that, are just out there and just attentively harm someone. Is there a GPMS police force that deals with this? Are the people allowed to deal with their own issues as long as there's no excessive, force? Like, do you see what the kind of the question we're trying to get clarified?
But what you're doing is you're projecting something into the future that might not even be there. Why do this again? Project a fear instrument in the future.
So yeah,
we have a person. When I go get my Lamborghini, I know where to go. There'll probably be somewhere there, grocery store, field, wherever we get, we'll be interacting with people. Someone will be making the bridge. There will be people who are taking care of other duties. All of these people, we'll give them names: bridge operator, grocery store, whether it looks like the one we're used to or not. Whoever's in charge of the architect, who, because he's the smartest with bridge building, he decides he's going to build a bridge. A bunch of people voluntarily who like to work come out and help that guy. So we're going to call him bridge builders. We'll call them laborers. Was there nothing? The police force will not be needed here. Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Would you want a world where a police force is needed?
No, he's the anti-police force. He doesn't want he wants to be clarified. How are people going to deal with? He's not trying to project something in the future, but it may happen. What are people allowed to do when that does happen? We all don't want it to happen. We hope a divine spark and everybody's got love in their heart and now everybody's hugging and this whole beautiful system happens. But what if
let's say we get a majority. We get a majority.
Allowed to kill somebody, like if they're trying to kill you, like you're just trying to get clarity in this system that you've been divinely inspired. That if someone tried to harm someone, how are they dealt with? We're not envisioning it. We're hoping it never happens. It may never happen, but just having some clarity on how people could respond to it in a divine system, if it ever happened, empowers the people. And maybe it'll never happen if they know that they have tools to deal with it just in case it does happen.
Well, if I can interject, I think he's thinking after effect, after we're all united, after it's all apparent to us, the divine sovereignty that we have.
I'm thinking in the first 6 months where we're telling people, listen, we're switching over the system. This is what we're doing. You're not going to go to that store. I'm talking about in that period when things are happening. What do we do? Not once we're healed, everybody sees how beautiful it is, and everybody's even mentally healed. I'm talking about on the road there.
The transition.
Yes, I agree. And there are going to be two different types of human beings. That's where we're moving. We're moving into low frequency and high frequency. So while we've chosen high frequency already, and we're pro this side of the system and what your ideas mean, we can see it working. But during this process, we are going to be dealing with low frequency people who are, working in greed and in selfishness, and until that system is implemented, they even when if it does get implemented, we get a majority where it's functional and has authority. There are still going to be dark forces that will want to take advantage of it.
Low frequency who ain't raise their frequency yet. What if he finds his way into our neighborhood?
Yep, they want to get a yacht and a Lamborghini. All the selfish people will love your idea. The low frequency would love your way of life. They would.
Good point.
Because
great
free
point.
money,
Free
food.
shit, free cars, free yacht.
Low frequency cannot access it. Again, you are going backwards, and you're trying to
No,
introduce fear
I'm
into the
being
heaven
realistic
scenario.
because
Not what it's about, Rick.
You're
I'm being
being
realistic.
realistic in a
Be-
fear environment. This is
no,
the
in
thing.
the environment we are in, it's not what I want. That's just what we have. I'm not. I'm saying we even during this transition, we're still going to have that here,
Here, let me
even
rephrase it
though
a little
it.
bit, Rick. I think this could make it a little easier. Let's say that we've managed to pull it off, but it's we're gonna put it in the US. And so far, we've only gotten in one state, Texas, and everybody has reached the frequency and all of these things. Some guy from the next state over comes over there and starts to take Mike's or somebody's Lamborghini. What do? Do we just turn the other cheek? Because that's a great idea for them too. They can take everything we've worked for, these low frequency people in Colorado. What happens then?
Well, what I
Yes.
say, if that occurs, that means you didn't make it to the heaven on earth. So you deal with it whatever way you wish.
So Joe, Rick has been, looking to implement this, I think, for 4 or 5 years. I think he said 2021, St. Patrick's Day when he started. So we're at, getting close to 5 years. He has his website where that I sent you, Joe, where
Thank
you
you.
can go and click on it. You can pledge to the system. He's got about 400,000 people that has pledged to the system. And I'm not sure, how many countries are you in now, Rick? Or there's the people in or the system in?
177, I think.
How many
177
are there? Like 400? You in like a
and
quarter of the countries?
60 and 69 sovereign denominations. In the Philippines,
oh,
we have several sizable
So
sovereign indigenous nations that have also
I'll be
joined,
checking
and
you out, Rick.
consistently we have the numbers that are coming in. More and more sovereign nations are joining. Canada is a little bit behind, to my knowledge, yet.
Yeah.
Ideally,
Uh-huh.
Oh, Rick,
Canada, with the
I,
sovereign communities in Canada, they were instrumental for this. However, they are still behind yet, and not caught up to know what this fully is. It
Rick,
is the
we may
full freedom for everyone.
may move on. And like I said in the beginning, I've talked to a lot of people who share a similar philosophy, and that issue of whether you have to have a police, then it leads to whether we have to build a jail to hold the bad guy. This is where everyone who has this gets tripped up. You're the first guy who said God will heal everything, but it'll probably come up in a bunch of conversations when you start to get to nitty gritty. It always comes up in the ones I have.
and I
Actually,
think this is
no.
why, Rick,
What's
that you come into
occurring
some
is
roadblocks. I think, Rick, is why
what
you come into some roadblocks is because there isn't concrete answers for people that need concrete answers. So some people are skeptical about this because they're looking for a concrete path. And it's great to just think that it's just going to snap and it's all just going to turn, perfect and divine is going to hit
But we
everybody's
may
heart.
have to
And
work
maybe,
a little bit at
yeah, there may be a transition period, like the
it.
guy was saying that, and I'll give you your own example then, Rick, that's not fear-based because you're the one who said this earlier on. You said all you need is the majority in one country
Very good.
to adopt this, and in one country, then the other ones will follow suit afterwards. So in that one country that, you take Romania and you convinced 60, 70, 80, 90% of the Romanians to adopt the system. Now everybody's abundantly working together. Everybody's got whatever they want. Now, what happens when, Poland looks at them? Hey, fuck those guys. They're too happy. We don't want them to be. We want some of what they want, but we want to take it forcefully.
Or one of your own.
Our
If you said
or
you
you
only
or
had the
someone from the
majority, could
inside.
be someone in the 10% that's left.
Driving around in their
you're,
Lamborghinis.
you're missing.
I guess in order for
See,
people
here's
to
where you
really hear what
miss
you're
the
saying,
point.
Rick, no, the point is not the point that it just happens. The point is there's a transition period and people need concrete answers, because if you can actually lead them to where you want them to lead by giving them the answers they need, they're more likely to join and
That's
support
a
and be one of
fact.
those soldiers for you. But if you can't answer simple questions and just give the answer. It just happens. People aren't going to believe that, and they're going to have a harder time getting people, the actual soldiers or the people that you want,
That was a
pushing this
great
thing. And
point,
that's
sis.
all. That's all he's asking for is, you know, just some concrete answers to questions. You keep sidestepping it every
Well,
time you've been
all
asked
right,
it.
all right, all right, all right. Here's the thing. If Romania is all happy and abundant, Poland doesn't need to come to take everything from Romania. Poland just activates it itself and they're all happy. So
But
this is
that's a
why
great idea. But Bob, before
what
Poland activated it themselves and saw how great it was, Bob, whether he be Polish or from the 10%, decided to steal a Lamborghini. You just keep switching over there into the place where it's okay.
Yes, and every country living under the oppression of the banking cartel will make war with you.
You
the
got to deal
banking
with that too.
no
Once
no,
Poland
I
becomes, they're gonna be
disagree
like, I
fully.
don't want the regular
No.
people to do this. Go ahead.
I mean, if you
See,
free Romania,
again,
I'm saying if you
again,
free Romania, you will, like Gaddafi tried to do and JFK tried to do. As soon as you try to remove yourself from the banking cartel,
Totally,
they will try to
totally.
kill you.
This is
So
and
this is this
this
is
is
the
reality.
darkness.
This
That's reality of
100%.
today.
no, it's not.
100%. This
That
is what
it may be. See,
Gaddafi
here's
tried to
the
do. He tried to put
difference.
Africa on the gold standard, and they went and fucked him up for it, right? And
Yes.
so this is,
Yes.
we're just talking about reality. So
Saddam
yes, it's
Hussein
okay,
tried
but
to
Rick,
change it from the
but
petrodollar from
but
US to something else, and they invaded his country.
But
Yeah, we're
Rick,
not.
like if you
We don't
don't have
exist.
an answer, like if
We
you don't
yeah.
have an answer, Rick, then it's okay to
It
say,
is.
I just know that it's just gonna happen that way. Instead of trying
Or
to
I'll figure it
sidestep
out later.
every, you know, or you know, like Divine just told me that as soon as we get a majority in one country, everyone's hearts are gonna change, and like that's an actual answer of a question. But every time you've asked the question, you've just sidestepped it and just, you know, not been able to give anything concrete. So someone
Angeline, hey
that's
baby,
very
I just learned how
analytical,
to
like
work the chat.
Joe Cool is very analytical. He needs an analytical answer, and he loves the fact that it
I
can just
love it. I'm
happen.
all in. I'm in
But
your
without
all in.
an actual road to get there, then he has a harder time
Mhm.
accepting what you're saying.
Well, I'm being fully honest here. Every time I begin to speak, I get interrupted. So, how am I able to answer a question respectfully when I'm interrupted, when ones will not listen? If you
I'll stay
don't
quiet.
listen to the answer,
Yeah, I'm
how
muted.
am I able to look? See what's happening? How am I able to speak?
Okay, go ahead, explain the
I'm not
question.
the problem. So, what is your question?
The
And then
question
I
is,
will answer
in
it.
your utopia, if someone harms another person, what within this system would deal with it?
That doesn't exist. It doesn't occur there.
But this is the world we live in today.
The
You're
world
talking
you
about
live in here today is not utopia. That exists
no,
here.
it's
We're
not. It's
building a new world. This
yes,
is see
yes.
with your thoughts. This is one of the things that's so important, especially with your co-creator ability and where the focus of your thoughts go. Do you want Would you have a heaven on earth if you keep thinking and creating these things in that environment where it can't exist? This
But
is where it becomes contradictory and nonsensical to entertain these in a
So
heaven
are
on
you
earth
saying that your
environment.
version of Romania being free, while the rest of the world has not achieved freedom, are you saying you no longer believe that's possible?
What I am saying is that instantaneous upon Romania becoming free, the rest of the world is going to want it as well. When you look at the majority of the population of this world, it's over 93% are in some form of lack. This means you already have the majority vote. You just need to gather it. And also with GPMS, where you see 177 representatives from those countries at least are already here. It's showing you this is already worldwide and it's being done. I use Romania as an example because it can occur and it causes the flashpoint chain reaction for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
If that
Well, I
makes
mean, I look
sense.
forward to seeing that and living in that utopia, but that isn't the reality here. And I know it's about numbers, but even in this thinking, positive thinking, there are still negative people around us doing negative things and holding on to their enslavement.
It
All
sounds
right.
like you're
Are
giving
they
us
the
heaven
majority? The
when
negative
things are,
people, are they the majority?
they are the right now, or in the people's world.
Well, what Paul was saying is there's negative people that doesn't want this. I agree with you, but they are the minority. Why focus on the minority that doesn't want it? Shift your focus on the majority to do what is right, and
Okay.
these fade from existence. This
Okay.
is the thing. Once you got to put your focus with what you
Oh,
want.
I agree. I agree. Manifestation. My scientific argument is that 80% of the world got the thing, and 80% of the world can be remotely controlled. You will be happy and own nothing. It isn't just a saying. They're literally telling you that they can control these people remotely. So despite the fact that all the untouched people do have a vision of a utopian renaissance, um, these affected people can be, you know, can take logic out the window. That all of a sudden, fire can melt steel. uh,
Well, yes, it can, but and that is practical.
well, I
But
mean,
what
and
you're doing,
fuel. Yeah.
eh, eh, with this, you're saying ones are able to be controlled. So then, are you saying that the Great Awakening is just controlled? If it is, you're all doomed. Are you
Yeah.
controlled, brainwashed? No, the
That's
truth
why the
that is
creator's
not
involved.
correct. Yes, exactly. And that's why everyone is awakening. It's
Hmm.
divinely preserved. This is not
Indeed.
happening by chance. You can
Indeed.
argue that it isn't, but I'm not going to listen to that because I know, along with many other brothers and sisters, that it is and that it's real. So,
Hmm.
again, why it doesn't make sense for the individual to disempower themselves by thinking that they got all the power. Because if they did, as I said earlier in the show, none of you would be here today. We would not be having this discussion. So you are
No
living
one
proof
believes,
that you
yeah, no,
cannot be controlled.
I think we believe that. We believe good is more powerful and all those things. We'll even, at least I'm willing to give you even that the good people come together and these are the things we can come up with. I don't think it's imprudent to consider all options. If we set forth to build this thing and we get a bunch of agreeable people and we start work, that's one thing. If you're telling me that the minute we put hammer to nail, God is going to heal the entire earth and no man is going to come up and stop me. I think it's prudent to consider if this is the belief that the guy is telling me will happen before I join this thing.
Yeah,
May
it's
I
like
ask
it's
Joe
like you're already
Coolston?
there. You're in a utopia already. You live in that moment. You live in that divine energy. Uh, it's just a matter of implementation.
So if I may
Joe,
now,
may I?
this the heaven on earth, I've envisioned it. I've seen it. I've seen how things are flowing, how people are working together, how the darkness fades away, that there isn't these issues and problems. Yeah, I've seen this reality. Like I've seen it. Like I don't
Right.
know how I can explain it, but I know exactly what Rick is talking about. I've always thought that, we can bring heaven to earth, and heaven should be like, this is what heaven is supposed to be, where you got freedom to touch, taste, love, experience, have joys, and go
Oh
here
yeah.
and there. And this is like how it's supposed to be. Everything's abundant, and food, and everybody's singing and dancing, and just, this is such a magical, wonderful place. So I see exactly the utopia that Rick has envisioned here, and that's been divinely inspired to him. So I see that.
Yeah.
And so I feel that Rick has the belief that as soon as the majority knows this, adopts this, whether it's one country, or as soon as there's a majority where the system just adopts this GPMS, that everything will just be divinely, because everybody has divine in them,
Divinely. Yeah.
that it'll just divinely happen, that there won't be that need to try to police somebody, because everybody's going to have that beautiful
Or
divine
even
spark
convince someone
that
into it. Everyone would immediately agree to it. There will be no convincing left to do.
right.
Right. Everybody will just suddenly understand that this is the way things are supposed to be, I think is what Rick is
Yeah,
proposing.
so he doesn't see that there is going to be these road bumps. He doesn't see, he feels in his heart that once this is adopted, that everyone will just have divine, where you're at the universal law, where there is do no harm, take no shit, like you're just treat others how you want to be treated. It's just going to magically happen. So he doesn't even want to entertain any ideas
Mhm.
that there will be forces trying to stop it, because he feels, he's seen this vision that as soon as it's adopted, everybody just becomes into the divine spirit that they're
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Right.
Is that what you're relaying here to us here?
Yes, he's still, man, and what your point is, Rick.
Well, thank you once again, Jesse. You've got it, yes, in a nutshell. And that's what's
Okay.
happening. And all of you have been provisioned with some sort of knowledge to this effect. So it's not very hard for you to comprehend and also to believe. I'd like to ask Joe Cool, why
Yeah.
does he believe in God?
Well, there are a host of reasons. My logical mind tells me so. The first one is that um, uh, I do a lot of debating and shit. So I just wanted to say that beforehand. So a lot of these things may be pre-thought out already. The argument that you can come to morals from nature. I agree. I could learn that I don't want to harm the guy living next to me because I may need him during the winter time to help me fix my fence post. So you can learn things like you don't want to harm your neighbor and basic things. But all of that desire that Jesse, I hate keeping using him, but I respect him so much, man. I'm so arrogant, but I think he's beat me in so many places. I talk about him when he's not around. He don't know that. But he's the guy I'm always trying to compare myself to and Chase. Uh,
Uh,
uh, when you consider that guy, what is that drive? That doesn't come from nature alone. That's exceptional. There is God. When that's my first proof of logic for God. I do it on the macroscopic. I'll say quantum level because I'm a knucklehead. I'm a fan of these things, and I can tell you that down there, it appears that what you look at, what you believe, changes things. If you know the double light experiment, the moment you look away, when a human looks at it, it lines up like we're expected to. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to break it down. This is grossly misrepresented, but this is the way it is. If I take a keyhole and I shine a flashlight through, a keyhole shaped light will affect on the wall. That's what humans have been trained to believe. Well, they put photon detectors on there, and this is on a quantum level. It'll be tiny shit. And when the human turns away and is not looking, the photons scatter and make patterns and waves and do crazy shit. And the minute you turn around, it lines back up, which means the human is the thoughts and all this shit is designed for the human. More proof of God. And then the final one I'll give you is that I do the meditation shit and all that, and I've talked to others, and they've given me advice and all of these things outside of the physical realm. I have a ton of proof why I believe in God.
Awesome.
My answer is a little bit simpler. I see it, feel it, and know it.
Yeah, well, for me, it was evidentiary. You know, I tried to take my life, and I knew there was a creator because
Very
I
good.
shouldn't be here. So I knew I had a mission, a purpose. I didn't know what it was. I knew I was important enough to save, but that's humbling in itself. I believe this transition that you see in this program, Divine GPMS, is how it's going to be after the and this is going to be instant. It's not going to be over time. We're transitioning to accepting that this is going to happen, but it's going to happen immediately, instantly, and we're just preparing for that transition. Um, because there are going to be low and high frequency division. There are people that are going to stay in 3D, and there's people that are going to rise in a higher frequency. And if we can empower and the people to raise their frequency, they're in a better position to rise with us. And the creator is I have no doubt that there's a creator, no doubt.
Paul, you will appreciate this story, and you too, Joe.
Okay.
Now, when we were doing the High Vibe Love Tribe, and that was when we were doing the dancing at the first year of
I remember.
the pandemic and all this, and sometimes we were getting 2, 3, 4,000 live views at one point. I was crazy just watching us dancing, and it was like the freaking crazy. But people needed something like that where there wasn't fear based. Everything else was fear.
Yes,
Everybody was
very
scared, and
fucking
they just
good.
needed it, and they gravitated to it. People were dancing with us, and we helped change so many lives and all this kind of shit. One guy who we met through there is this guy named Craig from Australia. And he told me a story that kind of like, hit me pretty hard. And this is back to the creator being real. I don't like to say God, anymore,
Yeah, I'm
because
okay
God
with
is
creator.
Godriel, is a serpent, and try to say creator or source. I love source and creator. So
Yeah.
he was telling me this story that he was, at the High Vibe, he found us, and he was all depressed, and he's drinking, and kind of helped him, and he was at a point in his life where he wanted to end it. So he was all hammered out of his mind, walked up a cliff, and had his drink and prepared, and he was ready. He actually went and stepped off of the cliff, and something grabbed him from behind and yanked him back off of the cliff.
It's
And
not your time.
he was like looking around, and there was nobody there. He's like he quit drinking. He just
Wow.
knew that he wasn't meant to go. His life has changed. He went back, he got his working again, and back with his daughter, and all the things that made him feel he needed to end it changed in an instant, because something grabbed him and yanked him right back off of the cliff. So if that doesn't prove, at least to him, that there is a source creator, that there's more energy entities out there than just us in human flesh form, that there is something more powerful and magical out there. If that couldn't convince you, then I don't think anything would.
Mm-hmm.
So similar to your story, like you didn't have, you just woke up and you should have been gone, Paul, but this was this guy, he was inebriated, but he like felt a physical, like there was something there that, you didn't feel yours. You just thought you should have been gone. Something just happened, it cut, you woke up and you were just in awe. But this is your same story, but someone who was wide awake when this happened. And that actually there was something that assisted him. And I even heard stories about a guy who went off out of bounds in a ski area and flew off like a 50-foot cliff and just felt two arms underneath him and guided him on the bottom, and he just skied like he didn't even crash, right? Because there are these entities, there's whatever you want to call them, guardian angels, there are things that watch over us. And so there's a lot more to this place than just what we've been taught most of our lives.
Well, I did hang myself, and I was unconscious and woke up on the floor. So since then, I've always questioned, did I actually die? And this is like another world. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. All I do know is that in this world, with what happened, I knew there was a creator because of the way the rope broke, that it was flat. And rope doesn't break that way. So it wasn't normal. It defied physics, just like 9/11 defied physics. So it's like this is a defy physics life that I'm living, where physics is out the window. Rational thinking is out the window. NASA's real. You know what I mean? And everyone's following these false delusions, and I'm here in this reality. So I don't know. Did I leave the world I was in and come to this world? That's a possibility. But what I do know is that I shouldn't be alive. The rope shouldn't have broken, and it certainly shouldn't have broken that way. So it is very unique in a way where it defied reality. Because a rope breaks.
Very great. If I may, brother, so there's a couple at least or several impossibilities, what human would call impossible, but it occurred. And this is the same as divine GPMS, except divine GPMS is not impossible. It's being physically manifested and ratified here right on earth.
Right.
So, but you brought up the great point, both of you, which is so important, that God is real. There's at least creator for your sake is real. It's all the same thing to I.
Yeah.
But creator is real. There is this force. So having said that, GPMS is not a distant utopia at all, because it's from God, and God has given this through I to put here on earth. I have had my experiences the first day when I met God and knew who God was myself, and ever since that there has been so many experiences that ones would even say is impossible. So I don't need any convincing. And what GPMS is, it's about collecting brothers and sisters, gathering us all together, like you two and many more. They're already been prepared for this. They just didn't know what was going on. Many of them have received the information that you're here for a reason. What is that reason? Many of them are oblivious to it until they come to see you're here to change the world. Here's the tool, the vehicle to do it. It's easy. It's a vote. The world is used to voting, a majority vote, majority rules. Boom, it's done.
And
how much more simple could it get?
Perhaps we died and all of the other people are just part of an illusion that the creator has given to us.
Yeah. However, it doesn't matter. Let's all get together and get this done. Don't you want the beautiful world?
Exactly. Well, this is why I've taken to the site, because it is exactly how it should be. Exactly, we have intelligent people to rewrite curriculums. There's a lot of work uh, transitioning, but yes, it is quite possible we can treat mentally ill people and make them better, make them well, removing the heavy metals. We can, do it all righteously with the Creator. But I think the actual evolution happens instantly. So it's going to instantly, we're going to be
And it can.
at a higher
It
frequency.
can. Yeah, it can as well. And this is what you would call a rapture event. And when you look at physics itself, once you have so many on that higher vibration, it affects space and time. And yes, you go in to a different reality. So practically, even with physics, yes, it does occur. And, on Earth, it has been documented so many times of ones just vanishing, disappearing, ones being taken by UFOs. It doesn't matter how you look at it. If you look at it, it is all a rapture event. So, what
Hmm.
stops, what would prevent the world, if you will, from rapturing as well? However, everything is frequency based. So, what you have is a bifurcation of the realities. The darkness stays behind because they cannot change to the higher frequency to
Hmm.
be in a place where everything is good. And this is also the ascension, the rapture event, the changing of the paradigm. And there's also others that will tell you they've been physically to other places and come back. So it is real. There are other places that are very real as well. So when you, and being just blunt and fully truthful, as I said, the darkness cannot go into the heaven on earth. They cannot
Right.
acclimatize to it. So that's
Exactly.
why it's a moot point with all of the fears and all of this with the darkness.
Yeah.
They're not going. The good ones are going, and
Yeah.
that is true.
Dividing into two. Yes, that's going to happen. I'm just saying implementing this system today wouldn't work because we do have both systems together still.
We're not at that place.
But
We're not
here's
at
what
that
Yes.
we're
place.
doing. We're populating GPMS, and it
Yes. Yes.
reaches such an energetic light quotient that
Hmm.
it causes a flash in the
Right.
reality.
Hmm.
What that
Yeah.
light quotient is that does it with aligned physics, when you have so many aligned with that one focus, what that number actually is, it is
Hmm.
not very big. And what I use is the analogy, when you that is given and accepted by ones, when you have one enlightened one that can affect a million, then when you do that quick math of, let's say, 8 billion on earth, that means you only need 8,000 ones together as a combined unit, and you also create the flash. With
Yeah.
GPMS so far, what we have with ones, let's say, that are gathering as the lead and the guardians, we perhaps have 20 or 30 of those. We don't have them all yet. We're looking for our brothers and sisters that have been already divinely prepared to come in. It's time. Stand shoulder
Hmm.
to shoulder. Let's create this big panel and get it done as soon as possible. Every day, the amount of
Yeah.
children dying are increasing, which
Yeah.
GPMS can stop instantly. These children that are dying from hunger can be instantly stopped, prevented with GPMS. So, with everyone that hesitates, you see what's actually occurring, what they're allowing to happen, because this is the practical,
Yeah.
logical, realistic solution for this world to take them out of the savage world that they are in
Yeah.
into the right and harmonious and beautiful world.
But
And
I've got a question.
the key to its implementation is the numbers.
yes,
Go ahead, Jess.
So
but
first of all, Joe's phone's acting weird, so he wanted to say bye to Paul and to Rick, and
Sure.
he said that he'll
bye,
catch you
Joe.
guys later. So that was just the first thing. And now the question that I have is that, right now, there is people that are the enlightened that are, lifting, raising the frequency, that are helping to get us where we need to go. Now, the question is, once this happens, this rapture, this, uplifting of humanity consciousness, once we have that majority, is it no man or woman left behind, no man, woman, child left behind? Like, is everybody that still has some divine, no matter what their road, no matter what they've done, as long as there's still goodness in their heart, everybody raptures up, and then the ones that I guess are dark and evil, just God handles it, or creator handles it. Or I guess maybe God would handle it. Yeah, I would say actually God would stay within, they would just no longer cease to exist. So, the ones that have been raptured don't have to worry about, things, and everybody that still has a divine in them, it happens for everyone. Like there isn't like, oh, I wasn't good enough, or I did some bad shit, and I'm gonna be dropped down. Like, basically, as long as you still have a soul, you're gonna be raptured with everyone else.
This is why it's occurring this way, that the divine plan is given. It is the instrument for all to become aligned with, rather than an instantaneous rapture event, if you will. But I do not exclude a rapture event, because what's occurring, every human soul is judging their self, they're judging their fate, their destiny of where they are going to reside. And they judge themselves through their actions and through their deeds. It's part of their placement. But having said this, to my knowledge, 5.9 billion on Earth are human souls. And at some point, at least, they are going forward. Whether a rapture occurs that may only take a few, or if it all occurs at once. What we're here to do is to gather all of these souls of light and take them into the new world, as many as we can possibly take. But there is, with creation, everything is energy, including creation. So there
Yep.
is also some particulars within the individuals that needs to change. And what it is morality at doing the best thing. And humanity, what are human, about 5.9 billion souls, have that morality spark that can be activated, and they can change in the blink of an eye, creating a rapture as well. However, the transitioning period is occurring now, because the more you have aligned with the Ascension vehicle, which is GPMS, it is affecting the other consciousness. You have the 100th monkey effect that is occurring. The more monkeys, if you will, that you have with higher consciousness, it's going to raise all boats, meaning that you don't need all of the masses awakened. You only need the certain prescribed amount united together as one, and it causes that flash as well. So I put it a couple different ways. So you can look at this with physics, what is known by humans with physics and astrophysics. You can look at it metaphysically. You can look at it religiously or with faith to explain it. But everything substantiates it and shows it. Yes.
Mhm.
can the rapture also be the other way? Instead of, these light 5.9 billion being uplifted, could the 2 billion that is no longer be raptured out? Instead of us being raptured up somewhere, could the dark, the ones that no longer, can be around, these higher frequency people, just be raptured out, and then we inherit this earth? Instead of us going somewhere else, the ones are actually raptured right out of here, like toilet flush. They get, they get flushed out. The royal flush gets flushed out of here, and
They
then we
vanish.
inherit the
Yes.
earth. The meek will inherit the earth at that time, where we could now, flourish here, because we don't have that, those demons, those fallen angels, those dark energies to wreak havoc here anymore on earth.
Yep. And I
Exactly.
believe that happens
Bingo.
instantly too. I believe that's instant. It's not over time. It's boom.
But this is
That
what we're doing too, Paul. We're getting to
We're
that
preparing,
instant
yes.
point that can happen at any time.
And it's
If you
very
took-
exciting.
It is.
Very
You
exciting.
take there's a viral point that GPMS has to make, and
Yep.
that could happen at any time in the blink of an eye, and it's all
Yep.
over. That's why, yes, we are in the most glorious time. It's been
Yeah.
spoken about heaven on earth. But what
Mhm.
occurs is the reality itself raptures with those that are going included in it.
But for
And
me, the kingdom of heaven is within me.
it's
not coming.
within
Has been.
you, but it's
Yeah.
also without to enjoy the kingdom
Yeah.
of heaven that's inside with this beautiful earth.
Yeah.
And we have everything provisioned with GPMS to clean up the planet almost instantly.
Yeah.
Because money is no longer a hindering object. It's used
Mm.
as a beneficial tool for everyone and to do everything instantly. See,
But in
yeah,
that reality, money wouldn't even be necessary.
exactly. And there's a quick transitioning out of that, if you will. So we say the implementation of GPMS, where everyone's in abundance and then getting situated, it's only about a 9-month period after that it's fully accepted. All of the logistics is set up that no one needs money any longer. And they
Well,
are
people will be
advanced
thinking,
race with the other from the universe, the other advanced beings able to come in to that higher frequency environment. See, what
yeah,
occurs with Earth is this darkness keeps in the past kept controlling humanity to keep them in a state of fear, which is lower vibration. And what this does, it didn't allow for the access from the other higher dimensions directly into Earth. But when you have the heaven on Earth scenario, it's higher frequency, higher vibration, which is physics, then you can have this instant access. See, it's very important. This is one of the reasons, if you will accept this. No, I won't use that because that might complicate things. But let me just say, you could look at it as physics, and you will still see how this is very real and possible as well.
And love will be the only currency.
yeah. Love is a part of it.
Caring, compassion, assisting each other, unity, harmony, peace, and love. It all comes with love. Exactly. These are all derivatives of love. Peace is created because of love, because love is compassion, caring, and sharing, which creates peace. There is nothing to fight over or about when everyone has everything and everyone is happy.
Well, I mean, your plan is a creator type plan. I wouldn't take away from that vision. I mean, we have almost equal vision of it's going to be like. I don't like the weight. I don't like knowing that people are still suffering. Every day. That's hard for me.
Well, get
because I
out
know
there,
we
I
can do
say.
better.
You're an equal member of GPMS. You consented, and Brother Jesse did. Get out there, get the word out to the people. Come on, people. Let's get this foolish fighting over in Canada by just rallying the people and change
Mm.
the system. Take it. It cannot exist a political system that is causing all of the harm to all the Canadians. So common sense means you already have the majority, gather them together. That is law. So each one all around the world is what we say. Come and join us, Jesse and Paul, on our weekly GPMS Sunday meetings. You are a member already.
I
Yeah, I
I
signed.
um
I signed years ago.
Pardon?
I signed up years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Right when you and I did, I think, our first interview, you did. Yes.
I did.
3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
I gotta go. So
okay,
thank
brother.
you both for this enlightening conversation.
Yeah,
I
thanks
see
for joining.
things a lot more clearly now, Rick, and thanks, Paul, for providing the space. With all the conversations and with all, my, information that I had in my head, I just never quite seen it like I do now. And, so
Excellent.
this is a big day for me.
Always
So
a
thank you
pleasure,
both,
Jesse.
and we'll see you guys next time we see you.
Oh well, before you go, like what are you gonna do if someone asks you to wear a breath inhibitor?
Breathing inhibitor. We
Yeah.
say no mask, eh?
That's what we say. Yes. Thank you for coming, brother. Yep. How can you not love that guy? But yes, we're definitely merging like-minded people together, which is what I'm seeing happening at this point. Um, there is a transition period that is coming where it's going to get to the point where staying asleep is going to be impossible.
Mhm.
You know, because of the lifting of the veil, where people are going to see how like the media, they're not going to consent to it. They're not going to fall for it anymore. They're not going to trust them anymore. So these institutions are going to collapse on themselves anyway.
They are.
Uh,
They're already imploding in rapid implosion. Yeah.
yep. And that's what I believe. They're going to implode, and we need to uh, unite. This is a way to do it. To just get our name in and unite, participate, because everyone has ideas, everyone has divine presence and missions to that are going to awaken, because that's what's happening. We're awakening, and that's why the media is it's so obvious to us now, because the creator is really participating in this evolution that's before us. We haven't hit it yet, but it's great that we're being conditioned for it. And you have a choice between freedom, sovereignty, or enslavement. You know, do you keep the old system or do you start the new system? And it's easy choice for me. And I don't see Trump as a good guy or a bad guy. He is a catalyst. He is helping to reveal the fake news. He is a catalyst that's going to jumpstart our evolution. So I don't see him as a bad guy at all. Um, it's going to be difficult between now and November, but right now, between now and the end of July, is going to be difficult for all of us. It's going to weigh heavy on us as the veil lifts. It's going to be harder because people are going to see what they're doing to children and what they've done, and hearts are going to break. So this is a very difficult part, and we need really to uh, unify to ensure people know that they're not alone, that you're not alone. You don't have to feel alone. You don't have to be alone. There are meetings. Every Sunday you have meetings, Zoom calls, and where you can have open discussion and just listen in and just prepare yourself, mind, body, and spirit, for the transition that's coming. It is coming. It's going to be the best thing that ever happened in my lifetime, and I'm looking forward to it. I have a timeline. They have a timeline, so I know it's right around the corner. And being positive is important. That's why I make jokes, because I know laughing is important. It raises your frequencies, and if we can do that for each other, it is a gift. It is a blessing. Like the city of Niagara Falls where I live, they hired me. They paid me $75 for a year of playing my music in hiking trails, so people can go on their GPS or their phone, whatever, and they can request my music. So my music will play, and it's 432. It's a healing frequency. So my music's for the birds. So the birds will hear my music. So I will be like sending out healing frequencies in the forest, in the nature. And, even though that seems insignificant, it's such a beautiful part to play, uh, a clandestine part, because nobody knows it's 440 or 432. They don't know the frequency I'm using, right? So it's a clandestine, creator, uh, tool of bringing back the standard tuning of music that's in harmony with nature. So the fact that they're playing it in nature is probably the biggest blessing I ever felt, to participate in, the creator's, healing frequencies. Uh, so it was kind of cool. $75. That's what I got though for a year. It's certainly not for the money, but it is an honor. It's an honor because it's a secret I uncovered about a couple of years ago about, changing the frequency to 440 hertz of music, and because so it wouldn't, heal people anymore. So I thought, yeah, as a musician, I thought, holy smokes. So and so I changed all my music, and I just got hired last week, a few days ago.
Yeah. If it
To
resonates with you, I suggest try 786 hertz to experiment with that and see what occurs in nature if it resonates with you.
Yeah, I went with 432, what it used to be. But yes, there's different frequencies have different effects. That's true. But with music, it's not that easy. I would need different equipment to be able to experiment with other frequencies. But I honestly believe that's my frequency. The creator sent me in that direction, and a 780 or all the other frequencies. The
Yeah.
creator's got those people to do that frequency. Like, I mean, I honestly
Yeah.
feel that, like, I honestly feel like the creator knows everything. And he uses who he wants, for his purpose.
Agreed.
So
Yes.
and I'm like so humbled to be a part of that. I just love that. It's very exciting that the birds are going to get blessed. I'm blessing the birds now
Yeah.
in the trees.
The animals are so important, the birds and animals and fishes of the sea.
Mhm.
Yes.
But even the plants react to
And the
frequency.
plants,
The
agreed.
trees
So important.
and the bugs and the little critters. It's just wow. What a beautiful
Yeah.
thing to know that my music's being played in the woods. I just
In
feel
the
so
elementals,
blessed. Yeah, what a blessing.
in the fairies and elementals, which are
Yeah.
very real, and I love them as well. I was up in British Columbia, up in northern British Columbia, and I was picking uh, mushrooms to sell, edible ones. I was picking the pine mushroom,
Mm,
and I mostly eat raw food, but that night I wanted a couple eggs if you will. So I had my camper, but I didn't have a stove in it, and it was raining outside. But I was attempting to make a small campfire, just long enough just to fry a couple eggs. And what occurred, I know how to make, I'm an avid woodsman, so I know how to get a fire going, even if it's raining, the proper wood and what have you. So I did this and got it ready and lit it, but poof, it kept going out twice. And so then what I said, elementals, will you please assist so I can get this fire going? So nothing occurred for a minute. So I just picked up my frying pan and I said, oh, well, they're not answering. And I just turned around and the whole trees lit up. The fire went poof. And I turned around to look at the fire. Here it is, perfect. So I said, thank you, elementals. And I put my pan on. It only takes, 5 minutes to fry eggs. And what was so magical about it, soon as they were cooked perfectly, the fire went from this poof to nothing instantly. And so just to share, yeah, this is very, very real. And it's beautiful. So yeah,
Yep.
you're playing music for the elementals in the forest, and I
I
love that.
love it, man.
Fairies
What
are
a
real.
oh, what a gift. What a beautiful gift. And I'm so romantic of Mother Earth, Like I really see it as living and beautiful and um
Oh,
amazing.
indeed. Magical kingdom all in its own.
The
Yeah.
colors of plants and flowers and the function of the bees, the bumblebee. I just love it all. I just love it all. It's a beautiful creation that we have before us, and I'm anxious for what it's going to be because everything I can imagine, I'm almost certain that we're heading in that direction. I know it's going to get harder before it gets better, but it will end. Darkness will be
I
separated.
believe I believe we hit the bottom point with my communion with Father today. I was given certain things to do, and these things are indicators that I believe we're on our way up now. And believe
Yes.
me, it has been the densest, most dense that I've ever seen or felt it since I became Divine Rick in 2011 and 12. Uh,
Mhm.
However, with the news from Father Creator today, is that I believe we're ready now to go up, that the
Yep.
world has had enough, has seen enough. Now they're prepared to make the choices with the new world. So
Mhm.
it's looking good. And, everyone wants to get it over with. And
Yep.
mostly the ones I speak with are the higher consciousness ones, and mostly the divine feminine that know who they are, the reason why they're here at this
Mhm.
time, on earth. And so, having said that, we also, let's say, perhaps live in a higher level of reality where we're not subjugated to all of the goings ons in the capitalistic world. But what I want to say is that we feel it as well. It is very dense with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like today as well that changes are going to happen today. They like we're definitely at the bottom or near the bottom or
Mhm.
um we're at a pivotal time. And I don't know what to expect. I all I know is I trust my
Yeah.
faith. I trust the creator, uh and that's all I can do because I don't know what's going to happen next. but I embrace um, the good things that come my way, you know, and that's why you're here, because you're an opportunity to unify, and unification, divines coming together is a part of this whole series, is about raising people's frequencies, joining, uniting, finding uh, focal points where we can all join together, link together, and become larger and larger and larger until we actually, on a spiritual level and a frequency level, bring everyone up with us. That's meant to be uh, the light givers, the light bearers, the I don't know how to explain it. Um, the higher frequency people. You
Yeah.
know, what's going to happen in the world that we're going to have is going to be beautiful. It's going to be like breathtaking. That's what I see. I see a breathtaking future where there is no suppressed technology. There is no greed. There's no need for greed. There's no hunger. There's the system wasn't built for hunger. One apple, you take one apple and you've got 30 seeds or not 30, but you've got like 12, maybe 10, 12 seeds. It's more apple trees. So it's meant to be. Hunger is not natural. It's not something we should ever have to deal with in a perfect, creator didn't make us to starve or to suffer, but to prosper, to work together, to invent, create, beautify. It's all before us. We've been suppressed long enough, and it's time for uh, God's plan to come to fruition.
Agreed, brother. Hallelujah.
Woohoo!
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, having said that, brother, it's getting a little bit
3 hours.
late.
And
Yeah, that's
time
good enough.
flies on this show. It does. It flies. I appreciate you very much. I thank you for coming on this show. And the door is always open on future shows if you want to join on the series at the same link. Uh, because it's not like the Truth Table regular show. This is specific to the time and place, to the raising of the frequencies, the separation of the two, mankind being separated into two, and finding ways to link up, join up. And I hope this has been helpful. The description to the website is in the description, on all the platforms, so you can go there yourself and become a part of it. And if anything else comes my way, I will share that as well. Anything to link people together is a divine purpose. Any final words, Rick, before we close off today?
All I wish to say is for everyone, you may be having very challenging and trying times, but truly it's real. We're creating this new world. So hang in there, and whatever you need to do to survive, do it honestly. Do not harm anyone else. And we have the full replacement system. It's going to be beautiful. So just hang on, you'll make it and you'll do it. And with that, love, light, and gratitude. And thank you so much, Paul. And yeah, I'll come back again sometime if people wish for me
Awesome.
to.
Yes, you're
Thank you.
quite welcome. You're quite welcome, and that includes all the other guests, Jesse Barrett. Anyone that's in this series can join at any point in time. It's quite open. Thank you at home for joining us for the Truth Table, Raising Frequencies.
can't handle the truth.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.